And they're asleep, which means we can keep getting matches. We're just gonna wait like an hour each time. What map are we doing? This is what we did before. Let me boring and vote for it again. Because I like to play the same maps until I learn them. I need to fucking save my thing! I need my cheat sheet on my other monitor. Let's go! It's like your battle group. Never forget to do this, because it defaults you to default, and god, fuck that. Hey, put the game music on. It's game time, baby. The first match was so good, I'm just gonna get like swept in this one, I bet. Yeah, save my thing. Save my cheat sheet. I need my cheat sheet. Hurry, hurry. Oh, it's raining. Lucky I finished my cheat sheet. Oh, why is my shit all fucked up? Oh my god, no, I fucked up all my... No, I fucked up all my... Oh no, when did that happen? I fucked up all the... Oh no, every time I moved a thing... No! Oh god, I see what happened. I fucked up all of my fucking... No! No! Yuka's Beagle won my first game. Oh, did you just finish your game? Maybe that's why the rest of us got games? Oh, hang on, I can fix this. Hang on. I've got time. I've got 54 seconds to fix my cheat sheet. It's my turn now, that's right. It's my turn now. Okay, I can fix this. It's so not over. I'm so fine. We're so back. We're so back. Okay, save that. Oh, my voice just broke. I must be so excited to play. How long do I have left? 17 seconds, plenty. I'm not going to be able to see my stream preview for once, because I'm going to have this over my stream preview. Okay. We are going to do air tax. And then it's the same again, but I'm on the other side now. Yeah. I probably want to go back over here. So I want another recon team. I want a Chinook with snipers, 2 airborne, and a stinger team, and a little bit of this.
Eagle here.
Oh, you can't say hell.
Chinook here.
Oh god.
Chinook standing by. Solid copy. We unload here. Turning to new heading. Eagle here. Send mission. Over. To the danger zone.
Cycle.
Eagle standing by. Eagle mission ready. New bearing set.
Fuck him up. Let's go. Let's go.
Open gates.
Go with that fax.
Turning hot. Tally ho. Eagle copies. Fight by fight.
You're gonna go
Back to
home.
home plate. Inbound. Back
Oh
up.
shit. Get the fuck out of there. Hey, hey! No! Shit. Shouldn't have got greedy. They brought in proper AA. That hurts my points a bit. But we'll pick you up, I think.
Solid copy. Blind
I think we'll get you out of there.
Good copy. Blackhawk reporting in. Flying back to base.
Anyway, let's worry about these guys now.
Let's hide in there. Infiltrating.
Yeah, the difference here is you don't have an armor player on this side. Maybe I should be playing armor over here. I should. Give me 2 of these. As quickly as we can. So, bring them in, like, one here, one here.
Make way.
And call in the Avenger behind them.
Pedal to the metal, driver.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Yeah, for chat, if you get the pilot back to base, you get a bunch of points back. You get like 200 points.
We'll go.
So we have to get Owen Wilson and Owen Wilson's friend out of there. Oh, they have real models now. Awesome. They didn't have real models back in the day.
Blackhawk.
Oh, fuck. I'm taking fire.
Full power.
Dive.
Flying to
Taking
order.
stingers from the side. Keep diving. Hell yeah.
Set. Affirmative. Blackhawk is mission ready. Copy. Chopper standing by.
Get in.
After that. Flying there now.
Nice work, gamers.
Maximum power.
Get out of there.
Fit for fight, sir. Squad, move out. Anti-aircraft team standing by. Infantry reporting in. Hold that ground.
That deserves some Kiowas. I shouldn't have put them there. You can go high now, get out of there, pick up speed.
Armored cav is on the field. Flight path updated.
1,000, 2,000. Oh, they're pushing too. You love to see that. They're gonna be like here, 1,000, 2,000.
Kiowa is mission ready.
1,000, 2,000. Come to here. I can also get a Stinger team firing too.
Ready for action.
You guys need to split up, you're gonna get hit. Stingers say hello. We don't even need the Kiowas in the end. But it does show that like they're going hello heavy as well. They're like VDV. So it is good to see that.
Looking for prey. They won't hear us coming.
You come here. What the hell is this?
Kiowa is on the warpath.
Oh shit. Smoke that. Fuck you.
Kiowa awaiting mission.
Get that shit away from me. What the fuck? I'll do one to you. Fuck you.
Cavalry here.
Oh, I didn't set up AA because I bought other stuff instead. What is our AA situation? Terrible. Oh no, we got a Patriot. Could be better though. Wow, this whole match has no AA. I need to get the AA in. That should be my job. Okay, so let's say enemy artillery is here. 1,000... 3,000... 4,000, 5,000. It's pretty like here.
Looking for targets.
1. Pivads.
Roger. We're on the
Pivads.
Roger. Moving out.
1.
Relocating. Already
Pivads. And when I can get another pivads,
there.
hello.
Copy.
This view, if these guys aren't heavy armored, I could probably go
Air defense at your disposal.
kill team as well. Humvee kill team, that is.
Roger.
We'll queue up the radar when they get there. Global destroyed, that's fine. Hello, motherfucker!
Heli here.
Hey, what are you doing?
Coordinates received.
Hey! Come here!
The cavalry has arrived. Armored is rolling out. Combat patrol underway.
Hey, fuck are you?
Lining up
1,000,
for attack.
2,000.
Kiowa ready.
Hopefully there's no stingers over here.
Infantry at
See, I'm kind of getting overwhelmed now. I've got like too many things going on.
Shut up and let's go. Kiowa
Hey, eat shit! Get low.
radar.
There's stingers over there.
New flight plan received.
Oh, what the fuck?
Recon heli at your command.
Oh no!
Kiowa standing
Run!
by. Thrusting forward.
I need, supplies.
Kiowa here.
I need to, like, get back to managing my ground, guys.
Drop zone received. Roger that. On our way to the DZ. Flying low.
Because these guys are just sitting here and not using them enough.
Fire and maneuver! The hunt is open. New orders. We lead the
Stingers are
assault.
way back.
Move and secure. Go. Infantry good to go. Roger. Move and secure. Sweeping the area.
That's not good.
Recon heli here.
Heli back. Yeah, I love it. For the RU players especially love to go so helicopter heavy. Let's get these guys up. Let's get these guys up. Let's get these guys up. And it's really good to have a team that can just punish them on quick reaction.
Heavy transport ready. Armored cav ready to rumble. Radar activated. Looking for airplanes. Move! Shoot! Communicate! Lock and load! We're moving! Solid copy. Advance and report. Air defense.
Down there, man. They need us.
Driver, move out. Pedal to the metal. Armored cav.
So these are light tanks. They don't have a lot of armor, but they do have active protection systems.
Driving to coordinates.
I gotta help these Forcon out.
Rolling. Cav is on the field.
We're just gonna focus on this right now.
Seconds, not 10 fucking minutes.
I know there's a Shrek set back there I want to get as well. heat around, eat shit. We're gonna go around here and go looking for the Shreks at. Bookers, they're kind of like Bookers. They're M8 Thunderbolts. Oh, I shouldn't drive straight into their ATGMs.
Lead me, follow me, or get out of my way. Driver, backwards.
We're gonna match? Yes, we did! Yes, we are matching.
Recon heli at your command. Flying there now.
Cavalry here.
APS eats that, but we wish it didn't have to.
The cavalry.
Okay, let's go up and get wherever that Shrek set was. Hopefully there's no other shit back here to scare me.
Pushing forward. We move in silence.
Flying to coordinates.
I think we're gonna get ready for a push in here. Okay, contact. That's what I'm missing is,
Already there.
where's my Chinook ready? I need Hawkeyes. Oh my god, look at all that shit. Wow. There's so much shit over there.
Black Hawk ready. Magic carpet ride is over. Tracking them down. Walking like ghosts.
Okay,
The cavalry arriving
let's go.
in that nick of time. Air defense here.
Never found that Shrek set. But I reckon I can go get shit in their backline. Maybe go around the town, actually, and go for their backline.
Is there in 10 seconds.
No, I don't have enough AA for that, probably.
Cavalry here.
Probably need more AA to get that crazy. Though, if I can just go on a run, it's kind of worth it, but I know they'll
Kiowa is
immediately bring a whole bunch of kilos to get me for it, speaking of which.
received.
So I shouldn't do that.
Cav is on the field. Let's crush him. Rolling into combat.
What is that cruise missile?
Kiowa awaiting mission. Kiowa ready. Kiowa reporting in.
I have mortars now.
Engaging targets with direct fire. Direct fire engagement. Providing direct fire.
You guys have to move, you're gonna get fucked. Get going.
Ready. Get your gear with
So pushing in. I should get, should have weapons team in here. Well, I'm losing to Kiowa. That's okay, we're just having an air battle over here. That's fine.
Attack coordinates received.
Nice, 3 for 3.
Kiowa copies.
who called the cavalry? The cavalry has arrived.
Weapons team is a Chinook, plus toes and stingers, and an MTV. Can I not fit that? Too heavy. Okay, that fucks up my plan. That fucks up my plan a bit. Oh, my Hawkeyes got counter-batteried already. That was quick. I had them scooting and shooting. Didn't matter, though. Okay, I gotta redo that team then. But for now... Bring in an MT. Whoa!
Heading there now.
Only 500 kilos? Shit. Bring that to here. You bring that to here. You bring the others. Let's get in there, meanwhile.
Copy. We take that building. Black Hawk here. Roger. Egressing. Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed. Infantry ready for action. Infantry at your command, sir. Cavalry here. Solid copy. Moving out. Armored cab. Ready to rumble.
Oh goodness, what... Oh, they're hitting the shit out of me. Careful, those tanks will fuck me up.
Armored cab. Ready to roll.
It's like good hits there, but we gotta wait till everything else gets in here.
Cavalry here. We're under fire. Armored cab engaged in combat.
Need to back up now.
Armored cab is on the field.
Go low.
New flight path set.
I want to bring you guys in and land you like here. And then get you out.
Back to farm.
You guys are ready to go again?
There now.
The cavalry
Ooh,
has
fucking
arrived.
incoming from over here.
Armored cab
You need to run! They're gonna get your ass!
engine right.
They are getting your ass.
Infantry here.
This airborne is fucked. I knew I shouldn't have got in yet, but I did.
Stay
I knew it wasn't time.
The Black Hawk is in the air.
Where's Green? You guys are my allies. Do you like the Hawkeyes? I do when they're not exploded. I do when I haven't got them killed.
Ready for action.
Oh gosh. Well, they're dead.
We're the AA.
However, we have other shit incoming.
New orders, advance and secure. Infantry,
No, don't engage. Pull back.
welcome to the missile age, choppers. Need a helicopter down? Logistics ready. Ain't nothing gonna get in our way. Armored cab clinching the enemy.
Want you up here.
Fly truck ready to transport. Troops in combat, send your orders.
You guys need to fall back.
Infantry at your orders.
I need more straight up just... Oh shit, don't go that way, don't go that way!
Time. Back out, driver.
Oh, I need a fucking one of these.
Cavalry is in combat.
They are pushing so hard, oh god.
AT specialist here. Go ahead. Landing assistance team. What can I do for you?
This is the difference, I don't have like an armor team with me this time, an armor player that is. These towers are too close range for this.
Fast landing assistance. What can I do
I did
for
not
you?
see this armor push coming. I wonder if I can striggle that. Yeah, like potentially.
Longbow standing by.
Kiowa standing by.
Heading there.
Here's what ends. I mean, we're winning like crazy at least. We're super winning. Uh-oh.
Combat ready.
Oh, the supplies! They're gonna hit the supplies! Get away from the supplies!
New orders. We
No!
assault. Coordinates received. Commencing attack.
Bomb the fuck out of them.
Tommy engaged in combat. Halt.
Get the longbow in here.
Already there. Solid copy. Search
Start killing.
and destroy.
Troops in combat. Requesting orders. Lock and load. We're moving.
Kiowa is mission ready.
Come on, screen for me.
Air defense
This Avenger needs to keep holding for a second.
here. We're in combat. Put hard on them.
We're gonna lose the point.
Longbow at
Unless
your
I can get these guys.
AT specialist at your disposal. Flying there.
Nice! Stop the cap. Nice, we stopped the cap.
Move your asses, maggots! Solid copy. Advance and report. Dinger team ready.
I need more Woods Airborne. I need some fucking Airborne AT up in here. What options do I have for that? I have... Okay. Where did I move my shit around to? Oh, yeah. I remember now. Okay, so I want some Blackhawks or some ISVs. Da-da-da. Yep, get that to me, please. That'll probably be enough. I mean, speaking of enough, can I just take the cap now, I wonder? What's the benefit of you landing your helis? What do you mean? Like being low? Oh shit. Speaking of, I gotta move these guys, they're vulnerable. Keeps them safer, keeps them less vulnerable. Can you reload your helis? Yeah, I do, I forgot that, thanks so much. So I'm getting overwhelmed, see, I forget things.
Anti-aircraft specialist ready. Dinger team here. Anti-aircraft
Gotta try not to cluster up too much here.
Move and secure. Go. Blackhawk standing by. Fast landing
These aren't being used a lot, but I just need a bit more supply for them.
Blackhawk in your command.
Kiowas are needed again.
Kiowa awaiting mission. Kiowa copies. Roger. Engage and destroy.
Nice, your stingers are at it. Good.
Blackhawk ready.
Whoa, what the fuck is that?
Boots on the ground.
Taking stinger fire. No, they're all dead too. They've got radar over there.
Flight plan confirmed.
Rip.
New flight plan received.
Complete landing, not flying low. That's just for resupplying. That's the only time that happens.
Heading there. Blackhawk standing
Oh,
by.
buddy, you need to land.
Anti-armor standing by. AA team engaged in
I forgot to bring them their ISOVs as well. Their ISVs.
looking for targets of opportunity. Copy. Looking for targets. Longbow.
Okay, here comes the seed attempts. doesn't quite get me, which is nice. Stinger team destroyed. Yeah, we're getting fucked up over here.
Good to go. Weapons team here. Rock up, we're moving. Longbow copy.
They trying to hit that? No, they're just bombing the point
Ready for combat.
in general. More airborne, please.
Who knew you'd do PT?
Many more airborne, please. Get some jeeps here.
Regroup and move up.
Roger that. I'm moving ASAP.
All hands. Move, shoot, communicate.
They're building up some shit over there, huh?
I love big guns. Look alive. Machine forward. Got your crow catcher. Now, on it.
Here's that recon team over here. Your team should cap A and consolidate forward. That'd be nice, but oh god. Oh, that's seed. That's seed. It's okay. The guys are doing their job.
Full power. Roger Wilco. Flight plan confirmed. Flying there now.
They should, but it's a hard push in there. It's easier said than done, you know.
Keep moving. Get the fuck up. Move. Weapons team in combat. Send your orders.
Nice. Toes are hitting.
Anti-tank ready for action. Sweeping the area. Solid copy. Advance and report. Troops in combat. What are your orders? Infantry ready for action. Fit for fight, sir. All hands.
Okay, you guys are a little fucked up after that, but we did clear those enemies out.
Forward.
We're gonna keep our guys moving,
Sure. Go. Need a rifle.
so we don't get, oh, that's not where you're meant to go. We don't want to get all fucked up
Longbow awaiting mission.
by enemy artillery and stuff.
Secure.
Oh no, I'm out of, this is my big fuck up. My A isn't working because I didn't get these guys rearmed. Big fuck up, big fuck up, big fuck up.
Moving there now. The Black Hawk is in the air.
Big fuck ups. Let's get that fixed.
Infantry reporting in. Infantry at your command, sir. Infantry here, standing by. Troop transport reporting in.
I need to go get these airborne up too, I think.
Personal carrier ready.
What the hell are you guys doing? What? Wait! I told you not to do that! Why did you go down there? What are you doing? What are you doing, Commander?
Infantry reporting in. New orders. We lead the assault.
Who knows?
Snipers, standing by.
The enemy here seems to be very, very heavy on the old... Sniped. Oh shit! Fuck!
Stay on target.
No! Very heavy on armor and helos, not so much,
A-team.
infantry.
Fire and maneuver. On the double.
Just need to resupply.
Move, shoot, communicate.
I mean, fuck, get into town then.
Stingers engaged in combat. Troop transport ready. Armored transport standing by. Here's your taxi.
Armor, I don't know about that, buddy.
Unasked, everybody.
Out of ammo, shit.
Helicopter down.
I need that MTVR up here so I can move supplies around. But I lost it in the push. Uh-oh.
Anti-tank team at
I have units, but they're all out of ammo.
right, sir. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. Regroup and move up.
I need to use this longbow.
Roger that. Sweeping the area. Infantry here. We're in combat. Get your gear. We're moving out.
That is close air support. I'm taking fire, but I need to support my troops.
Troops in combat. What are your orders?
There we go.
Flight plan confirmed. AA team under fire. Tiger team under
Keep
fire.
engaging.
Requesting orders. Hold your fucking action. Ready for action.
Let me get another team in here. What have I got available? Just get me a Chinook with an MTV and a bunch of supplies. That's what I need here. Ooh, they be pushing. They be fucking pushing out here.
Longbow ready for combat.
I want to pop up that. I know I shouldn't, but I wanna start popping shit up. Oh god, enemy AA healers. Let's get my own back in.
Blackhawk awaiting mission. Mission's over. We're out.
We're out of supplies. This is my other big mistake here, is I've failed to bring enough supplies. I also don't have artillery, which I need here like hella. Get the Hawkeyes back and try to keep them alive this time. Go low.
Helo's bad again.
Blackhawk is mission ready. Putting troops on the floor.
Are you completely out of A up front? Yeah, like, my infantry's actually been doing pretty fucking well, but we're out of ammo now, right? Oh my god, look at all that shit to kill there.
Infantry ready for combat. Longbow reporting.
Look at all that shit to kill.
Weapons team at your orders. Personal carrier here. Infantry here.
Oh, so much shit to kill. Bring a Striegel.
Squad, move out. Touching the envelope.
I'm gonna hit the rear armor with one. There we go.
Going for effect. Let's hit the hard deck.
That's fun. Get out of there, Striegel. The Hawkeyes are back in.
Reporting in.
Shoot and scoot. Gotta shoot and scoot.
Direct fire.
Don't shoot and scoot. There, that kills that guy's poor Hawkeyes.
Direct fire.
You can tell that this player I'm playing against has kind of got a bit overwhelmed. Just like I have. But you can tell they have because they've got infantry just sitting there dismounted. This is a good time to keep pressing them, I think. For that reason. Bring the Kiowas in, and if we can... I mean, specifically if we can kill the Igla.
Artillery ready.
Reposition.
Providing direct fire.
We can do some cool shit here.
Flying to coordinates.
Need supplies.
I'm gonna heal you guys up meanwhile. Not heal, you know what I mean, rearm them. Send another Striegel, I got the points. I want to soften up and make a push on this base.
New course set.
I'm gonna kill this. One to the rear. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna kill them.
Bugging out.
Once we kill that Stinger, we'll do a pop-up attack with the healers, I think.
Infantry at your orders.
And then we'll have the airborne rearmed and get in there. Please don't be a bomb on me. Oh no, it's my bomb, good. Go low, get out of there. Target's destroyed.
Kiowa reporting in. Flight path.
We're trying to get some of them. Here we go.
Attack pattern.
Heading there.
Flight plan confirmed. Already there.
Oh god! Enemy AA! There's so much AA! Alright, well we fucking paying for that. So at least make it worthwhile.
Flying to coordinates.
Anti-aircraft here. We're in combat. Infantry at your command, sir.
Which means getting you guys up here and taking advantage of it.
New orders. Advance.
You got full toes? Yeah, you're good.
One after a ride.
Okay, I want to get in there.
Good copy.
While they're panicked still, too. Oh, you know what I don't have? Stingers. I need stingers right now. It's too late. I can get them in for next time.
Artillery ready to fire, sir. Engaging targets with direct fire. Armored transport ready. Already there. Safety off, everybody. Infantry ready for action. Fit for fight, sir.
That's the lack of stingers is gonna make this a hard push. They're scared though when they're running away, so that's good. That's really good for me.
Cargo drop. Watch your heads.
Anti-armor here. All ass. Move your asses, maggots. Sweeping the area.
Stingers are coming, they're just a bit fucking slow.
Artillery standing by. Target
Need more pivots.
Roger. Moving to next waypoint.
Everyone's engaging. Let's move the supplies up.
Can't forward.
These guys are gonna need them. Nice, destroyed. Good. If I had stingers here, this would be a perfect. Oh God! Some kind of recon over here. I said if I had stingers here, this would be a perfect attack. But because I didn't have the stingers, my guys don't really get into town very easily. That said, I reckon we can get in here. Okay, meanwhile, get these guys inside these and get them moving.
Someone after a ride?
Get up to the front line.
Infantry at your order.
Go, go, go! Get in town! Oh! Oh, the airborne took out that helicopter! Let's fucking get it! Hell yeah! Take that fucking MI-8 out! Shit yeah!
AT specialists at your disposal.
Now the healer's coming over to try and correct this because they're like, oh fuck, my apes. Oh, I lost the supply truck.
Ready for action.
Okay, shoot it down. Shoot it down of your 6.5 mils. No, but you did piss it off. Oh, get out!
We have a building to secure.
Have the tows cover us. No, I lost the supply truck, which is gonna get me that. And you guys aren't moving for some reason. Oh, sudden death. We own every point, by the way. If I hold this point for 2 minutes,
Ready for combat.
we win. I don't think I'll be able to hold it for 2 minutes, but we'll see.
Eagle copies. Infantry good to go. Eagle ready.
Maybe. Ooh. Okay. Very well. I want you to drive straight in then.
Already there.
Interesting. You just hold back here. I want more airborne, please. I think that was my team actually. Funnily enough.
Roger. Moving out. Someone calling for a cab? Moving out. Moving there now. Copy. Relocating. Roger. We're Oscar Mike.
Toys.
Standing by.
Get the grenade launcher over here, killing these guys.
Solid copy. Advance and report. Daddy check unit here, sir. Black Hawk reporting in.
My hen's still ready.
Roger that. Strike area confirmed.
Fuck you.
Flying under the radar. Stinger team at your command, sir. Look alive! Anti-armor standing by.
I need supplies. I need supplies. I need more MTVs.
Run as fast as you can! Stinger team engaged in
You guys are out of ammo. My infantry's been doing so good. I see more supplies. Oh, we're about to win. I forgot to hold the sudden death, but we win. Nice. Hey, that wasn't bad, eh? I got a lot more overwhelmed that time, you could see, than the last match. I made a lot of mistakes, being like, oh shit, you know, I don't have stingers. Oh shit, I don't have ammo. The big thing, I think, was not bringing enough supply trucks and supply dumps. I needed more supply to be able to fall back to there. I didn't have enough transports. It kind of worked out, but there was a lot of points there where really I just got overwhelmed by like this big armor pushes come in. I was like, oh shit, we're actually like out of missiles and rockets. We can't stop the tanks. And I shouldn't have sent in the airborne when I knew I didn't have stingers yet. I should have just waited till I got stingers there. Perfectly blocking the def number. That was a good match though. I enjoyed that. Egan says, it'd be interesting to get a sudden death win while deep in the red on KD. Yeah, like if it was the only way you win. Spayfoot says, did you ally decide to escalate to nuclear? I think so. I think my ally nuked the point we were holding so that we could hold it. They literally broke and arrowed us in both senses of the phrase so that we could hold the point and get the sudden death, which was cool. A couple of opposing players did incredibly awful. Yeah, I mean, it's a very easy game to get overwhelmed in. That's going to happen. But we certainly did quite well. Tollman did very well at that KD. Very nice. Very good work. Very good. Arabama says, cool, thanks, was curious. I think busting out the calculator. Yeah. How was our cost effectiveness this time? Yeah, I did lose a couple of Striegels where I shouldn't have. That was early on, I think. Same A system. Kiowas did pretty well, generally. No way! Is that MI8 190 points on its own, not even what's in it? Who the fuck is paying 190 points for an MI8? What is on that thing? Fucking Putin himself? How is that expensive? What is on that? Typhoon, 60 points. Is that what happened to my Hawkeyes? Did this thing just get through and shoot the ammo dump they were on when I first dropped them, perhaps? PMD 75. See how long we get for Arts and Crafts now? Yeah. Oh, the same BMD got both my Thunderbolts? Really? They must have hit a supply dump or something? I don't remember that. I think that BMD just did well, actually. I think it just traded well. Don't remember that at all. Barbarous eating up some airborne, yep. That's a hero BMD, man. A did well. I needed to set it up earlier, but it did do well. Nya 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 nya. Yeah, that... I mean, to their credit, they only nuked a couple of airborne who were pretty dead already. That was a good nuke. That was actually a really good use of a nuke. That was like the perfect use case for a nuke. This alligator did well. This MA8 did great. Killed everybody up. And then for my kills... no, the Giga Chad longbow did not survive the battle. It did die in the end. When I did that push up, and they had enough, like, radar... Well, not radar, but they had enough SHORAD, short-range air defense, in the area to fuck that push up. I shouldn't have done it. I knew that. I knew from previously. I'd seen that they had SHORAD in the woods, and I should have been more aware of it. But I was also like, fuck yeah, let's go. But I still shouldn't have done it. A little intercepting at the start. Stinger team. Yep. Good stinging. Good Kiowaing. The Kiowas did really well. Like, look at this value for the Kiowas, right? 185 point Kiowa kills all this. Because the Su-34 went past them, and then the Kiowas just kill that too. Airborne doing great here. Thunderbolt did okay. Toe doing good. Got an anti. It's a nice position to attack with toes from that forest, honestly. The snipers got to shoot that Typhoon. That was great. AGL doing okay. Not the best strike, but it did what it had to do. Soften up the point. That's a good strike, getting that one. That's fine, because you're just paying for the bombs. That's different. This longbow had a good run. Killed a lot of shit. Patriots didn't do a ton, but they still did fine. Like, still killed one of the Su-57s coming in, because it's not real stealth. But yeah, I never brought in the slam ram teams because I didn't need them. The enemy wasn't that heavy on jets. It felt like if the enemy had been heavier on jets, I would have brought in the slam rams. So it's nice to be able to like modulate like that, you know. Longbow solo that push. That longbow was heroic. Longbows are so good. They're so survivable and they're so strong. And the fire and forget Hellfires are so much better than the non-fire and forget ones. I love them compared to Vipers. Vipers are good for bringing Sidewinders though, and for being cheaper. Good airborne. Good toe. My Hawkeyes weren't great because I just wasn't paying attention to them. I gotta get better at that. Good airborne. Good stuff. That was good. Now I'll see how long if we have to wait another hour for another one, but that was good. Good rounds today. I'm glad I played the closed. I'm glad I got to, I should say, the privilege of playing the closed beta. Because, I've been doing dog shit up to this point. Well, not dog shit, but I've been doing probably like 40% win rate, 50% win rate. I've learned some really hard lessons on deck building and how to fight that I'm now getting to execute on today with the cheaper units. Definitely my decks before were way too expensive. My units cost way too much, and I was just not flexible enough, and I really like the amount of units I've got today. What do you have on the Kiowa? 4x Stingers. Will be fun to see some A10s. Yeah, hopefully a future spec will have them. So yeah, these are my Stingers. 85 points for 4 Stingers. I'm tempted to do the whole Hellfires and Stingers build, but the thing is, not only are they expensive, but I just find that 2 Stingers on their own is not enough. Even in a pack of 4, Helicopter ECM is so good that it's so hard to get kills sometimes with... You really have to have a ton of Stingers. So I find just dedicating to this works great. I do wish I had more of them to do in the Hellfire configuration. I really can't wait for the future when on release we're expecting to get a spec that's like SOCOM, Special Forces, that will allow us to have... I think it's all but confirmed that 160th SOAR will be represented in that spec, which means we'll have Little Birds. And I really want to have both of them so I can have Kiowas with Stingers, And then I can have little birds of Hellfires, or vice versa. That'll be really cool. For cost effectiveness. And then you can do that instead of an Apache, even. When can you deploy XCOM? I don't think XCOM is a spec. But, it would probably be... it would probably be in SOCOM. It'd be the nearest equivalent, I think. Deck-wise, I'm really liking the deck. I mean, I'd better, otherwise I have to redo my cheat sheet. Which I'll have to do inevitably. But right now I'm liking this deck quite a bit. I actually don't feel like I need much more of anything at this point. If anything, it'd just be like if I need more infantry or more transports, I think at some point. Another Chinook could be cool, but I can't fit it in here. Like, for the first time today, I've actually stopped feeling the need to tweak this deck. Actually feels good now. I'm sure something will come up that makes me want to change it again, but right now this feels good. I love playing the heliborne infantry. They're really good. I just need to fix up how I'm bringing them in. So the problem I made is that I thought I would be able to bring certain things in helicopters that I can't. Like I thought a Chinook would be able to bring 16 guys and a truck and supplies, and so far I think I can't do that. I can't fit everyone in. So that's fucking up my mental math a bit, because Oh! My mental math is so wrong. I thought the Chinooks had 1,400 lift weight. They have 12,500. That's bad. Actually, the Sea Stallion is so much better. The Sea Stallion is... sorry, the King Stallion. The King Stallion is 10 points more and gets 1,600. 16,000, sorry. It's the Super Stallion I'm thinking of that has 14,500. Damn it, that's cheap as fuck. Compare these? Maybe the Super Stallion is, like, secretly slept on by me. This is better ECM. The speed is a bit better on the King Stallion. And the lift weight's a bit better. I'd probably still bring the King Stallion, but... Huh. Now I want to make the USMC Airborne deck even more. So yeah, my cheat sheet's a bit fucked up, because I actually need to bring an extra helicopter to bring the truck, or to bring the units now. How do you deploy Patriots and SHORADs? I just deploy them, like... with PivAds. So I'll bring in a Patriot and 2 PivAds, or I'll bring in a Slamran and 2 Slamrams and a PivAd is what I'll do. But with the Patriots, I always bring a PivAd screen. PivAd is your secret OP unit for AA defense in Armored, because they do cruise missile and seed defense. Is there a SOCOM deck? Not yet, but we're expecting one for release. So I never bring in... as long as I have pivots in the deck, as long as I have armor in the deck. I don't bring in unprotected Patriots or Slamrams, I bring them in with a pair of Pivads bodyguards, and the way that works is you turn the radar on with the Pivads, that's why I've got the armor upgrade on them as well. The seed missiles will go for them first, so you have the Pivads here to eat and soak up shots. They'll usually take 2 seed hits before they die, and they're much cheaper, and it protects the Patriot behind them, and they also provide Sea-Wiz, basically. They also shoot down the missiles. The Pivads. Pivads is your secret OP for Armor AA. It's really important. Make sure that instead of bringing 2 Patriots, just bring 1 Patriot and 2 Pivads, and then save up, get another Patriot and 2 Pivads. It's much more effective, because seed and cruise missiles are so prevalent right now in this beta, that if you bring in just Patriots on their own, they're gonna get seeded, and they won't be able to stand up to it. Grove says, when Marines plus Airborne, you do get a Pivads. Yes! Which means when I play Marines plus Airborne, I'm gonna want other people on my team ideally be handling that, but, you know, when you're playing of randoms, you can't expect that, so it just means, you know, maybe I have worse AA and I have to live with that. You know, there are other ways around it. I can, instead of Marines Airborne, have a full squadron of 4 F-15Cs, which if I'm floating enough points, I can call in to try and, like, you know, cover myself from enemy jets if they're running really rampant. If I can also fit in the F-18s with their AIM-174s, that's also an option. What is a Harvest Hawk? It's a C-130 variant that can have missiles and bombs on it. I don't really like it. Are 35 still highly survivable? Yes, they are. They're still just as good as they used to be. What's 617 Glowmaster? It is a giant high-flying transport. It costs 50 more than the Hercules, the C-130s, but it can carry a lot more. 75,000 lift weight compared to 23,000, which matters a lot for dropping, you know, you can drop tanks of this, light tanks. The big thing, though, it's also a bit faster. The big thing, though, of this thing is that it can only fly high. The C-130s can do low-altitude drops, which are much more survivable, because if you're low, enemy long-range AA can't hit you from as far away. But it's pretty fucking cool. It's definitely useful. And when I can only pick one in this deck because I wanted to drop the Thunderbolts, these light tanks, which weigh 18,000 each, that's why I brought the Globemaster. Though, if you bring the Air Force Hercules, it can drop at least one light tank, which isn't bad. But I kind of want to drop them in pairs, you know? Oh, the Helo tab and the Air tab is so much nicer on USMC Airborne. Maybe I should build this deck now. Maybe now is the time. I kind of got to correct my cheat sheet, but I'll do that later. No more graphics art yet. Jesus says, have the C5 Galaxy? Not in yet. I don't know if it's ever coming, but not in yet. So let me look at how I'm going to do a Marines Airborne deck, or better to say how I'm going to modulate this one. So Global Hulk is a no-brainer, need that. First start, let's get rid of probably all the transports. Until we know we need them. The strength of USMC of Airborne instead of Armor versus Airborne is we have more cool recon. We can bring Forcon and Scout Snipers. I'm considering if I want a proper Green Ops build for Forcon or not. So the choice here is you pay 15 more, but you get 2 silenced DMRs, and you get better light AT. You get AT4s, which are penetrate way better. Or you also get the grenade launchers too, huh? Or you go for Black Ops. This is 15 cheaper, which is the main reason I'd want it. You do have worse optics, only 1700, which isn't as good as 2000, which you get with the standoff build. But instead, you get 2 shotguns. All of your rifles become suppressed, which I don't think they normally are, and that does more damage at close range. But you don't have any long range options anymore, really, which is fine. But the main thing is you also lose the... You go down to laws, which are much worse like anti-tank weapons. They can't really take on armored vehicles as much. They're really just for rear or side hits. Or, you know, you've got to do it, like, against lighter vehicles. But I just really like the idea of having them for 60 costs, but then again, 15 isn't much more. Though they do get more armor this way. It's a trade-off. Anyway, Forcon's a really good unit, no matter how they're built, I think. Just really cool for forest bushes. Scout Snipers are a slightly cheaper version of Army Snipers, which have one less guy. Army Snipers gets the M203, M401, the guy doing close security with the rifle, this guy. Scout Snipers is just a marksman and a sniper. Though, because there's only 2 of them, you can fit them in transports easier than Army Snipers, which is something to consider. Benny says, one upside to the law is they will shoot them in infantry. Well, I mean, that's cool too then, I guess. I didn't know they'd shoot them in infantry. That does make Forcon really good at blitzing enemy infantry squads then. Because especially with the suppressed rifles. I wish I could take both. I wish I could take 2 with Black Ops and 2 with Green Ops. But that's probably good for hunting other infantry in the woods. And then if you see enemy vehicles, you just have to run away from it. When I build elements for this deck, then, I probably want to have... Forcon followed up by a small team. Would make a lot of sense. Black Ops, Forcon equal cheap Marine Raiders. Yeah, and they are cheap, and that's important. As much as I love Marine Raiders, they're so expensive. They're great at what they do, though, of course. And they can be pretty cheap if I cut them down to door kickers. Which is also something they're really good at. Get those... Yeah, I gotta reselect them to refresh them. Oh, they don't have the quad nose, and they do. So suppressed weapons do more damage at close range this beta. God, that's sexy. On top of their stealth benefits. I mean, these guys come with grenade launchers, 2 automatic grenade launchers, 4 shotguns, 8 suppressed rifles, and 8 laws. I mean, they're gonna decimate any infantry they run into in the woods. And that's something I've been trying to learn more today, is that I've been playing... I haven't understood woods combat very well until this morning, and now I think I understand it better, what units are built for woods. And I've been using Marine Raiders in towns, but honestly, that's just a meat grinder that gets them killed. I'm starting to think that where you want Marine Raiders is the woods. You want them to go into the woods. Like, yeah, if you can get them into the right buildings in town, they're good. But I want to get them into the woods where they can just, like, delete enemy infantry. And again, just like the Forcon, they have 2 different builds, because this is their build of all the close range shit, and then you can also build them standoff. I'd say, like they get other shit. They get designated marksman rifles. They get these Scar Mark 20s. That's kind of sexy. That shoot up to 600 meters. They get Mark 48 machine guns, which also shoot up to 600 meters, and they're pretty damn good. And they have M27 IARs, 10 of those. The damage is really high on all of them. Like, they're still doing a lot, but it's at a longer range. Again, I wish I could take one of each loadout, you know? But I'd say the big win for them with the standoff loadout is the Moors. So they get one guy, I wish they had two, but that'd be asking too much. They get one guy of a Moors, who can shoot up to 600 meters, which is longer than the usual light AT. Really high heat penetration, 9 rounds, pretty fucking cool. So if you give them this, they could actually kill other vehicles in the forest, feasibly. Euchre says, I won again, let's go, Euchre. Nice job. Corner says, new question, what does suppressed weapons do and how do I see it in game? So, they haven't really got very good tutorialing right now, it doesn't really explain in game, but the way suppressed weapons work, to my understanding, is for one, they make you more stealthy, I'll explain that in a second, and for two, they make you do more damage at close range. So the damage at close range thing is just pretty easy to understand. The closer you are, I think suppressed weapons do more, or maybe they just gave them more damage, I don't know. It could just mean that they do more. But basically, get closer, do more damage, I think is the idea with suppressed weapons. I think. Now, the stealth thing, on the other hand, it's kind of a factor of how stealth works in this game. So, stealth works, it's optics versus stealth rating, these two things. The binoculars are the optics rating of a unit, and the stealth rating is a modifier on the optics value. So, optics basically means, 1200 here means you can see, with no stealth factored in an open plains with no terrain in the way, no forest, no cover, no buildings, you can see another unit up to 1200 meters away. Is my understanding of what that means. But that's then modified by the stealth and by cover. So the stealth rating here is 1.75. So that means if I was being looked at by a unit with 1200 optics, you would, you like divide it by that number, I think. I think it's basically you're 1.75 times as hard to see. So I guess you would divide 1200 by 1.75, or you would times it by 0.25. I don't know how you do the calculation, but I hope you get what I mean. You're that much harder to spot, basically. Fuck, which way would that calculation be done to get the right number for that? If you're 1.75 times as hard, well, if you were 2 times as hard, it'd be 600 meters. And you're not 2 times stealth, you're 1.75, so it'd be a quarter off that, which would be, what, 750? So these guys would get spotted at 750 instead, by a unit that has 1200 optics. Divide 1200 by 1.75. Right, there you go. It'd be something like 33% harder to see. Well, yeah, something like that, I guess. I don't know. The way they've done it makes me confused. But anyway, you get the idea. That's also affected by buildings and woods. So woods and buildings also increase your stealth modifier if you're in either of them. So again, you have to get closer and closer or have better and better optics to see people at distances. Woods are also funky because woods have, like, actual, like, line of sight blocking on the trees, which is why woods are so special for stealth. Like, kind of imagine woods like, how I've been imagining woods now is like a fog rather than a wood. It's like a fog, and the better your optics, the further you can see in that fog, but it's just in general, like, it's its own fucking dimension. And then suppressors, to come back around to your question, my understanding of suppressors is that they are another modifier on that when you fire. So normally when you fire in this game, you're not immediately... I'm redoing this, Dick Brazilian. You're not immediately revealed, actually. You're only revealed because when you fire weapons, it lowers your stealth rating or whatever to a point where you're really easy to see. So even if you couldn't be seen in the woods or the building, you shoot now, and you're losing your stealth modifier. Your stealth modifier is going down, so now they can see you. What suppressed weapons do, which is really cool, is they let you fire with much less penalty to that stealth rating. So you can actually shoot in this game and not get revealed. Unlike, I don't think Wargame lets you do that. In the right situations. Like if you have snipers really far away from anyone who could spot them and the enemy doesn't have recon around, and they start shooting their suppressed rifles and not their unsuppressed shit, they can just keep shooting and not get spotted. Now, you have to keep in mind, the enemy can still see the tracers, though. So if they're paying attention, they will probably, like, force attack your building or airstrike you. But it is a really cool way to get first shot advantage lasting longer, and to, like, if the enemy isn't paying attention, just, like, fuck with them. It is really useful. And if the enemy doesn't have fire support around, like artillery, airstrikes, or, you know, explosive weapons, they can't really do anything to you, which is also awesome. You would have seen it in that last match if you were watching, anyone was watching, when we pushed the guys, the Russian infantry who were on top of the hill through the forest of the 2 airborne units. They were shooting me for a while there, and I couldn't shoot back, and that's because they were suppressed. So yeah. It possibly says, usually calculate to something as a per 1,000 optics, so it's 570 meter-ish per 1,000 optics. Wait, what do you mean? Like with suppression, do you actually have the numbers on suppression? Because I'd love to know the numbers too. All I know right now is you can get away with more shit suppressed, which is cool. It is fun. Probably less impactful for these guys, because unless you specifically turn off the grenade launchers, the shotguns, and the laws, they're going to be spotted. But in this case, we just like the suppressors because it does more damage at close range, I think. Whereas with the recon, I mean, you could choose to turn the shotguns off, I probably wouldn't. But specifically the scout snipers, like, it actually matters. Oh, you don't get a suppressed one. That's an advantage the army snipers have as well, is both their marksman rifles are suppressed, so you can do suppressed fire up to 600 meters. Whereas the scout snipers cannot do that at all. Only 500 meters on the DMR. And you only have one of them. So that's interesting. Oh, you're the one making the builder. Cool. Been working breaking down data. Cool. Awesome. I think I talked to you last time, Profane. I love your website. Why are they all standing like they're shitting their pants? Yeah, they kind of are. They kind of got that stance, yeah. Profane says, I don't know, I talked to too many people. Yeah, I understand. Anyway, so get rid of that. So like I was saying, I think the strong recon is one of our strengths. Because we can bring forecon, we bring scout snipers for cheaper snipers. Oh yeah, I might have, yeah, Profane, I might have, yeah. Who else? I kind of talked myself into bringing Marine Raiders, I think. I'm going to redo how the weapons teams go. Almost completely. Less airborne for sure. I understand how much infantry I need now, and it's a lot less than I thought. Less weapons squad too. Because again, I just don't really deploy these guys, except in specific situations anymore. Oh yeah, they're a big group. Yeah, they're 14 guys. Yeah. You can get Marines for 13 as well, but they're not as high speed, low drag. But still, 13 guys is another strength of the Marines. You can also go down to Reserve Marines. You retain their, like, huge squad number, which is great for tanking. But you lose... You can... Well, we can see you lose, like, a bit of damage off the IAR to the M16s. I don't know if fire rate is calculated into that as well. You still have the grenade launchers, but you're also losing all of your AT-4s for machine guns. So they're probably going to do better or the same against enemy infantry. But losing the AT-4s is, I think, a big problem and not really worth it. Like, I'd rather take an airborne squad than a reserve marine squad, if you know what I mean. But, I mean, it's got a purpose. Like, you definitely could do strategies where you're just using these guys purely as a damage soak. Or purely anti-infantry, and for that cost, you can't really go wrong. For 70 cost, 13 guys that's gonna bully any other infantry squad is pretty cool. Bradley says, I remember before the CBT you were big into the no AT Marines. Well, we never had reserve Marines before, as far as I remember. We never had Marines who didn't have AT-4s, did we? Or did we? Maybe you're right. Maybe the original Marine squad had no AT, or maybe they had laws? I remember them giving them AT-4s. No, they had like 4 AT-4s, and they cost like 60 or something, 70, and then they made them cost 90, but they gave us 2 more AT-4s, I think. Yeah. Anyway, I think for an infantry squad like this, you really, really want to have AT. Because you want this squad to be able to walk into a forest and kill the shit it runs into. No, I know they didn't exist in OBT as well, possibly, but I mean the Legacy Marines. Before they got their price nerfed. We got the cat toes as well. These guys are a little bit expensive. It is cool that they have a Browning, a grenade launcher, and a toe all in the same squad. Like, there is a place for that. But like I was saying before, because you can... It's kind of putting all your eggs in one place too much, because then that squad just gets bombed, and you've lost everything. I'd rather have a squad with an AGL and a squad of a toe, you know? But I mean, you can't really argue with the value. Like, you are getting a lot for 100. You're getting every weapon type for 100. That is really cool. I do like that. They're not that much more expensive than an airborne squad. I could definitely see me bringing one of these. I think the weapon squad are just a bit too expensive and a bit too one-note. But I could definitely see the cat dragons having a place. Oh, sorry, the cat toes. The cat dragons are their own thing, too. These guys are 100 for 2 dragons as well. Like, you can go 25 costs more, but I think this is a scam. Because you only have one launcher. And because of how much laser laser anti-missile systems exist, having only one launcher is actually a big downgrade for that big cost, I think. Whereas 2 dragons is going to be... You haven't got the penetration to get through super heavy armor, but most of the stuff you'll fight isn't going to be an armada. And this way, you can actually get through their laser APS. Because you also lose half the missiles, too. You only have 4 missiles for the Javelin squad. So I think 100 for 2 dragons and a Browning is actually a pretty good deal. It's actually a pretty good deal. We make good use to leave as guards. Yeah, that's how I used them in the old beta, yeah. That's a good squad. I'm really looking forward to more squads that have, like, endemic stingers. Like, infantry combat squads that just have a stinger in them. I'm hoping that when SOCOM comes out, we'll get to see some squads like that. Because you always need stingers. Helicopters are so strong in this. So the dragons fire simultaneously? Yeah. They fire simultaneously or they ripple. Assaultmen Small are a good unit. They got buffed. They have more penetration now on their AT rounds, which is really good for taking on medium mech now, I think. They also get their own dedicated anti-infantry rounds. They're just kind of good at everything, I guess. Not AA, but especially for their price, that's a pretty good unit right there. Honestly, like, with how strong HE rockets are against infantry, that's a really good unit. Infantry definitely gonna have more options in building this deck compared to armor airborne. Well, more and less, because I'm losing the 50-point mech rifles, but they're not that important. They're nice for how cheap they are, but yeah. Keep in mind SWOR teams now HE. Yeah, you can now take the SWOR teams, and you get 8 SWORs, but these are now anti-infantry, and anti-light vehicle, I guess. But these are now anti-infantry weapons. So I guess you could bring this loadout as well if you want to, like, really fuck enemy infantry, but I'd want to bring them in the small category. Yo, 2 of these guys got gas masks on? Yeah, I have no fucking idea why. Like, are we saying they have, like, thermobaric rockets or something and I want to keep my air in my face? I don't know. Good for them, though. Maya, why is this most disgusting unit in the game, IMO? Yeah, I'm not a fan of how HE rockets are so effective against infantry squads. I think it's dumb. I think it's really stupid that they basically, like, do the rule, like... Because the game feels quite immersive in a lot of other ways, but then they have this, like, rocket tag bullshit where it's like, okay, a small squad walks up, hits you with an HE rocket, the HE rocket does tons of damage to every, like, your entire squad, suppresses you instantly most of the time, so now you can't fight back, and then they're just gonna fire another rocket at you and finish you off. These guys are actually, like, monsters, and they should be... All of the HE rocket shit against infantry should be nerfed. It should either do less damage to them, or it should not instantly suppress them. But, like, it can't have both, because then these guys are just, like... anti-infantry killers for some reason, which just doesn't feel right to me. Yeah, Soldier TF2, yeah. They're basically, like, crocketing everyone, yeah. Gove says they do have thermobaric rockets if you turn on the details. While, like, in-game, like, there's, like, an effect for it. By the way, I love how Marines look. Fucking hell. Their camis are so cute. Yeah, just in the spirit of Wargame Oak, yeah, just like thermobaric Spetsnaz in Wargame. Tow teams from everyone still, blah, 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 okay, so that's all good. Vehicle tab. So these 2 tabs I'd say are a fair bit stronger. Do note, though, we have less recoin points to play with. I think it's like 1,500 in my other deck. Yeah, we actually have less in USMC Airborne. Armored brings more recon points to the table. Also less support points, I believe. Yeah, we're down 500 support points. But way more helicopter and air points is the big thing. Also less vehicle points. Premise is, I mean, IRL, you would not want to be on the receiving end of a small. This is the argument that people always use against me when I say that about I think the HE rockets are dumb in the way they work. And the response I have to you is like, yes, but also like, that's not really how it works. Like, IRL, you are not like pointing this... You're not pointing the small at the Marine Raiders squad and like making every single one of the 14 guys shit their pants in fear and stop fighting effectively because like 1 or 2 guys got hit by a rocket. Also in IRL, like, you're not hitting the guys with the rocket that easily in a cover-to-cover fight. It's also harder to aim, it's harder to step out of cover of a rocket launcher, blah, 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 blah. Premise says, no, I get it. Yeah. You're not wrong, though. Like, if you get hit in the face of a rocket, you're fucked. I do agree they should be effective. I just think they're too effective right now. I think they get to have their cake and eat it too much. And it just makes them, like, slaughter squads they shouldn't. Like, I don't think an assaultman small should beat Marine Raiders. But I think in a lot of cases right now, at least if a small gets first shot, they handily well. Like, it's not even close. I hope that's changed this last beta, because that was one of the things that annoyed me the most. There isn't a lot about I don't like about Broken Arrow right now, like, but that's one part of the balance that's like Wargame that I don't like, is HE rockets, they really need to consider more, like, how they arbitrate the effectiveness of them against infantry squads, because it's a bit silly. I think like I said, go one way or the other. Keep the huge damage, or keep the huge suppression, but not both at once, it's a bit silly. Okay, Gof, yeah. Heckler says, is there any voodoo or technique to actually get into a match right now? Not that I know of, but if you find out, tell me. I'm just queuing, and about every hour we get a match. Does the servers work now? Not really. You kind of just gotta pray and wait an hour. Anyway, what else have we got? Yeah, exactly, Oak, yeah. It probably makes the most sense to lower their suppression for that reason. And just keep their damage high. Because then you could then automatic grenade launchers still have a purpose too, which is to provide the suppression. Because an automatic grenade launcher absolutely deserves to suppress the whole squad. That's like what they should be great at. Anyway, so as we were going down the list, everything I should look at too is transports. We get a Humvee that can transport 6. It's more expensive though, which kind of sucks. So actually that kind of sucks because if you put a M2 on it, or even a minigun, it's actually pretty expensive, and at that point, why not just bring a lav? Actually, what the fuck is wrong with the Humvee? I guess the advantage is it's lightweight to be airdropped, but... man, come on. That should not be 40. I guess it's got stealth. It's... okay, I guess it's got stealth. Like, that's not... in a woods fight, that's actually kind of useful. I don't know if I want to pay 40 for it when the lav is right there for 50, transports 6, has stealth, has some armor and more health on an autocannon, and can still be airdrop, but it is lighter weight. Yeah, I guess the stealth on the GMV does help a bit, but I do think I'd rather bring a lav. But yeah, anyway. Is it meant to have smoke? It has like smoke launchers or not. Oh, I guess that's why too, because it has free smoke. I didn't pay attention to that. That's kind of fair then. It's an interesting unit. It has free smoke. I still think the lav is favorable to it, but I guess if you don't have airborne, it is much more airdroppable. It's also faster too a little bit. That's kind of fair. Anyway, the lav I think is fucking awesome. You can go up to 70 to get more hit points, a bit more armor, and a smoke launcher. I think at 50 though it's just right. It's pretty disposable at that cost, but can still fuck in a pack with the Bushmaster. And it has the stealth, which is cool, has decent optics as well. Milewide says this is a consequence of car prices going up slightly in this beta. So that's cool, I like them existing. That's really all you get. You haven't got the really cool stealth Humvee that I had before, do you? No, you do, yeah. I like this thing a lot. That's a cool scout recon Humvee. But that's just airborne. Infantry transports, we lose the Bradleys with APS, which is one of the best jewels of the armored deck, I think. But we get ACVs, which are very cool in their own right. These are, like, armored units that have 13 squad slot to carry a Marine squad. If we can compare them straight to a lav, because that's probably what they're replacing, I think. You can see that they've got more health, way more transport capacity, optics isn't as good, no stealth. They're heavier, so don't even think about airdropping them or helo-dropping them. You can't airdrop them and don't even think about helo-dropping. They come with smoke, though, for free. They only cost 5 more, and they come with an AGL instead of a Bushmaster. This isn't the worst thing. That is a 900 meter AGL, and honestly, autocannons can sometimes be kind of weak in this game, whereas AGLs go really fucking hard against infantry. Whereas, what's the difference between the 50 and all damage-wise? The 50 and what, sorry? More armor too, yeah, much more armor. We can go even... Oh no, that's because I up-armored them. But that only armors them more on the sides. Wait, really? Wow, all that does is make them cost 10 more? And all you get... Oh, no, you get 2 more hit points as well. I wonder, like... You can make them really cheap at 45, but I guess the extra hit points is really good. Anyway, we can, if you want, go up to a Bushmaster autocannon. Oh, I see what you meant now, too, where you're probably asking about the AGL versus the M2 here. One sec. You can go up to autocannons on them as well, Bushmaster autocannons. Same as the Lav. You have a little bit less ammo for them, which can matter, you can run out. But it looks like the autocannon is better, Bushmaster 2. You've actually got more penetration and more damage, which is I didn't realize until now. That's neat. More accurate, too. I wonder if the fire rate's better. No coaxial M240, but I don't think that matters too much. But it does make them really expensive at 75, and I do believe the autocannons aren't that good right now. Oh, Bushmasters are 30 mil compared to 25? Oh. Yuka says, Beagle, why do we recall units to base? What does it do for us? It refunds you. You get money back. If the unit is unharmed and hasn't spent any ammunition, I think you get, like, all your money back, or very near to all. You will get less money back based on how damaged the unit is and how much of it... You will also have to pay money for whatever munitions you spent. So this is one of the few games where they are paying you to bring it back home. If you have 200 points of bombs on a jet that costs 300, and you do a bombing run of that jet, you fire all its bombs, and you bring it back to base, you'll get 100 back for the jet, but you'll lose the 200 for the bombs. You've spent that. That's what I thought. Thanks for the information. No worries. Anyway, so you were asking as well where are the weapon choices. So let's go back to just looking at that. So the difference between Brownings and AGLs, I would say the main difference is what they can target. So I think the AGL is better in a lot of cases. But the thing about the AGL is it cannot target helicopters. I guess you have less AGL ammo. The dispersion is worse on the AGL2, 40 meters to 10 meters of accurate dispersion. But in general, what I would say is M2 machine guns are good to have for being able to take out helicopters, and they really can do it at close range, like they're quite good at it. While grenade launchers are way better for fucking up infantry. I would imagine that the M2 is better at taking out vehicles as well, because it's kinetic penetration, which means it's just a solid thing going through armor, whereas grenade launchers are heat, which means it's a chemical explosion trying to blow through the armor. Heat always does the same damage no matter what range you're at, whereas kinetic damage gets bigger the closer you are. So if you drive these things up closer to enemy vehicles, you can M2 Browning the shit out of them. It's not really like a big thing, I would say, when you only have 20 pen, but in general, I think Brownings can deal with, like, armor a bit better. Because, well, it depends, though, because you can also get units that have a lot more kinetic armor than heat armor, I think. No, it's the other way around. Units always have less kinetic armor than they have heat armor. So a unit might have 400 heat armor, but only, like, 100 kinetic armor. And in that case, a Browning is going to do better than a grenade launcher, you know? So it's just little things like that. Mile says also, the grenade launcher velocity is legitimately low enough to be dodged by heavy targets. Oh, someone said my matchmaker gave up. Yeah. It did. Rip me. I might restart my game. Let's restart. And then continue to look for the US deck. The nice thing is there's so much deck building to do, like, at least I'm not bored. I like making decks. I'm sure you guys want to see some more, battling, but hey, at least I can answer questions from what I've learned about the game, for those of you who have them, because I have learned a bit about this game now. Yeah, let's build this Marine Airborne deck. I've tried building Marine Airborne decks before, and they were based around all the air and helo options, but I didn't really get the ground game going well until now. And I feel very capable of making a good ground game for Marines Airborne now. I'm feeling good about this. I'm going to use these infantry better this time, I think. I'll probably bring some Marines to splash in. I'll probably run out of infantry slots, actually. Mile says, it's worth noting that the grenade launcher retains some usefulness versus hard targets purely by way of suppression. Yeah, the grenade launcher does more suppression, I believe, than the machine gun. Match me! I beg you. Go says, Marine plus Airborne Helo Focus Board is so fun. Yeah, I do love how much air you get in these decks. It's so cool. I want to play team games so I can play just purely focused on backline. Just air and helos. It's so fun. So anyway, yeah, that's the ACV. It's pretty cool. Like, it's got 100 speed as well. It's pretty cool compared to the AAV to be that much faster, I think. But I think the AAV still has its own purposes. Like, I think we can get armored as fuck with the AAV. Nah, you can get up to 100. The AAV will always have the advantage of bringing 21 people as well, which is useful. It also comes with a Browning and an AGL. These things really fuck hard on a fight. Like, AAVs are really good combat units. Especially for the price of 65 even. Like, they're really good at fucking up anything that isn't like a tank or... like, anything that isn't armored. They really do eat that shit up. 21 people, they pack like sardines. It's got a fat ass. Like, it's got a really fat ass. All of that is just troop compartment. Benny says, AAV is the only way to carry raiders in an armored transport. Yeah, that too, because raiders have the 14th guy, so they can't go in ACVs. Is that a coax in Mark 19? No, it's in the turret. So AAVs actually have like a little, like, turret here. Little closed ball turret that has the machine gun and the AGL. But these things, this is how they were in the last beta, and they still are now. These things are drop pods. These things, you get into a situation... like an urban situation, and you just go the fuck in, and you send in like 4 of them with your Marines, and you just eat shit up. They're really fun. I also love the way they look, to be honest, but that's probably because I had a micro machine of them when I was a kid. I do think if you're going to use them, it's like very worth getting the full survivability upgrade, because it's quite cheap for how much their armor gets increased, and you get the extra 2 hit points, and that's like their main job. These things' job is to fuck hard. If you don't want to fuck hard, bring an ACV in and fuck faster. But if you want to fuck hard, bring the AAVP. These things are really fun. Sammy says, we got a lobby up if you want to join. Sorry, Caps. Sammy's lobby. Password is rat. I guess I could try? We could try and match. Yeah, I grew up on Micro Machines, Harbeck. I love them. I still got some on my desk right now. And yeah, the AAVPs were so cool. What was the one, Semi? Okay. It says 1 for me. What is a little flapper on the front of the AAVP for? I think it's like something to do with like beaching itself on when it aquatics. Because it's amphibious. I think it's like a water related thing. I think I've been baited by you, Semi. I don't think this is gonna work for me. Barley says it prevents a nose from diving into the water. I don't think I can play with you. They're calling it a wave guard in chat. There you go. Because these things float. I'm just gonna keep on quick playing, but thank you, Sammy. I'm just happy to get into a match at this point. So yeah, those are 2 good options for 2 different reasons. How worth it is going 30 more K an hour, do you think? Compared to fucking harder and having way more seats. I feel like, as excited as I was for the ACVs with Bushmaster, the price just isn't quite right. If this was 65 as well, I think I'd be all over a wolf pack of autocannons. I think also autocannons are a bit of a critical mass. I think the more you have of them, the better they are. Because you exploit their longer range and their consistent damage against armored targets. The more you have of them, because their actual damage is quite low. So I think if like I think if I end up going like a lot of lavs, which are quite good for their price point, I might consider going a bunch of ACVs too. But overall, I think I just really like the AAVs. Mile-wise, it's important to note that AAVP is actually faster off-road. Like, it usually goes for wheels versus tracks. Really? How does that work? That's really important to me too, Mile-wide, because a lot of the time you don't want to be on roads when you're making an assault. Can you tell me what the modifiers are for off-road, on-road, for tracks versus wheels? Someone says I got in big as MJB now. That's okay, I'm not going to try. I think... Let me know if you guys actually, in a custom mob, you actually managed to get a game any faster. But I think I'm going to have my best bet in quick play still. It possibly says there is no modifier. Okay, just hidden values. Well, they really should tell you the off-road speed. I guess that's why there's websites. Profane, does your website have that already? I should look that up. Because, yeah, with that in mind, then an AAVP is just straight up better for woods. And in some cases, maybe better for towns. Let me see, Profane, thank you. This is Profane's website, which is ba-builder.xyz/arsenal. Or just ba.builder. Sorry, ba-builder.xyz. Check it out if you're interested in this stuff. I love these kinds of websites. Watch the back, it goes open so you can see a side. Yeah, it's cute. And yeah, they fit 21 guys in there. What the fuck? They must be sitting on each other's laps. It's getting the renames so long to pronounce. It's a good idea if you can get the domain for it. Oh, I love that you've got all the shit. Okay, so 55 is the real speed. Cool. That's really useful to know. Do you have rate of fire for weapons as well? Yes! Roth is 353S. Roth of the Brownie is 150S. They don't consider that. Like, they don't give you DPS, right? So some weapons might be way better than others on DPS because they don't really show you the... They just show you the damage, not the rate of fire of the damage. Or maybe I'm wrong. That's how it feels, though. I forgot to change the music up, by the way, when we're on, not match time. Anyway, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so is the ACV in here yet? Sorry, I should show you guys the site here. So we can see here, we can see their off-road speed, I assume that is, and then their on-road speed. Oh, you got the upgrades too, that's awesome. That's really cool. That's nice. Okay, yeah, back to Arsenal. It looks like we've got the new shit. ACV. I'll do it this way. Why, they were just not letting FMS? I'll tell you why, because I'm showing it off on stream right now. And if you've ever developed anything, it won't work when the it'll wait to not work until the most people are watching, that's why. Okay, so there you go. So 50 off-road, so yeah, that is so interesting. This is the deep stats. So working on my end, or it may just be my fault then. It's the deep stats. Yeah, the AV more faster off-road. That is really interesting. Huh. I wonder how much the engine upgrades help for off-road versus on-road then, too. I've got to look all this shit up now. Yeah, that really slants me towards the AAVP more as well. Look at the wrong chassis. Was I? ACV? Don't think so. What do you mean? So you want to look at the AAV? No, we did before. Sorry, we did before. Now we're looking at ACV. My wife says you can also see the hidden optics for air units, like I was selling on disc. Right, yeah. Interesting. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So that's Hilo and air. Okay, so you do have buffed optics against them. Very interesting. Good site. I'm going to be using this more. I'm going to bookmark this. Thank you so much. Very cool site. I like the way you've got it set up with the drop downs and everything. Seems like a really good way to do it. Very cool. Anyway, yeah, so probably AVP is more for me. We have Humvee 240s. These are still from Airborne, same as the other deck. I liked having these for cheap M2s. Oslo and Heil? Okay, cool. So that's really all the infantry transport options. And yeah, just really good infantry options. Vehicles is you're losing all of the options the armor tab has for really, like, top-of-the-line Abrams. But you still get pretty good ones, honestly. Like, I think the M1A1HC is still good. It's not quite... Like, you're losing like 100 meters of tank gun range, and you're losing some penetration and performance, and losing some armor. Like, you're losing a bunch of shit, you are. But I think for the price point, they're still quite good. They're very close. And then you can still get a trophy if you want. Though I might end up taking this off, because I don't really use trophy anymore. Not as much anyway. I might even go to a jammer for 20. Because I think, for a vehicle that could actually survive getting hit more than once, 30% chance to dodge an ATGM might actually be quite good. On the Bradleys, I don't think they'll live that long, but against... In this case, I think it's like more valuable. And it's much cheaper, is the thing. So I might go the jammers on them. And then, yeah, the FEP is almost as good as a lot of the M182s. It's quite impressive, really. So it's not like you don't have tanks in the Marine deck. The Marines are great because they bring a bit of everything. So we can still do those. We can Tusk as well. We can't Tusk 2, but we can get Tusk 1. Which gives us gives us a second Browning. Because I think this was the... Wasn't this the packages they, like, done during, like, the Iraq and Afghanistan war, like the war in the Middle East and stuff, where they were like, holy shit, like, we need to drive through towns and just, like, machine gun everyone at once. Where are they fitting it? Oh, it's a coax. It's a coax, like, right there on top of the main gun. The lessons of the war in the Middle East are yours. Are yours to exploit for only 20 credits. That's double coax. One, that's a 240, then you got a 50 cal, then you got a 50 cal pop out spot, and then one here, and you get to fire all these at all times, which is quite nice. Shramin says, this looks like something the Imperial Guard would have. You're actually dead on. Yeah, you're right, it's like a fucking Lehman Russ. If the M2s were on the sides, it would be a Lehman Russ. I'd probably Tusk it because that's quite impactful, but mainly like the extra health. I don't know. You are making it quite expensive because then if you combine it with the jammer, you've gone from 255 to 265 to 300. I don't know if I'd go the whole hog there. By the way, says also FEP has HE shells, eats infantry for breakfast, not heat HE. Oh yeah, does it ignore cover? No, but still, eats them up, unlike the combined heat rounds. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, I like that. I like that. And we can Tusk you as well. It's something Urban Survival Kit, right? I forget what the T stands for, but I know Benny's about to tell me. Oh, the jammer's so cheap here, too. It's 15. Oh, value. Oh, and the jammer's only... What? Oh, man, you saved 10 there? That's value. T is... stands for tank? Okay. Fucking military backronyms. Yo! So now you can go from 205 to 235, and you can have 30% jamming, 18 HP, and you can have Tusk on the sides. That's cool! I like that. Superiority says, do the tanks auto-select which rounds to shoot, for example, HE for infantry? Yes. Yes, all units use the round that is best for the target they're facing. You don't have to worry about it. That is such a long, long gun. Look at that long-ass gun. I guess in a similar way, if you don't go whole hog for the Thunderbolt, you can get Hesh rounds, which are probably quite similar in blasting the fuck out of infantry. I go back and forth on whether or not I want the full barrel on the Thunderbolt, because it makes it more expensive, and also, like, you lose the Hesh, and do you even really need a gun that good on this tank? I go back and forth. Thoughts on the Sheridan? Haven't used it yet. It's cheap. I'll give it that. It's cheap. Much like the M60s, it's cheap. I haven't used the M60s much because I haven't been playing Marines much. But I think the M60 is quite a strength for the Marines as well because it's a Price is Right tank. 115 for just a straight out the box, quite survivable tank against light to medium threats. The Price is Right, you know. It's got Hesh for anti-infantry as well. And you can even go, you can downscale on it to make it into this fucked up engineering tank that just obliterates infantry. It's like an anti-garrison infantry tank. It ignores 50% of their cover. It's just fucked up. It's one of those fucked up units I was talking about. And it only costs 90. But yeah, Price is definitely right with the M60s, I think. I love that they just covered them in ERA. But if it says Sheridan is a house instead of a cannon, right? I know nothing about Sheridans. I don't have Sheridan facts. It's just like a light tank. It's in the airborne category. You can pay 5 to get the Shalala missiles on it that I think are shot out of the barrel. It's the thing Russia went all in on, and, like, America was like, this fucking sucks, dude, and didn't do any more of. But you can get them. They probably work a lot better in Broken Arrow than in real life. So there you go. Riley says, don't forget the Sheridan is light enough to ride in the Marines King Stallion. I thought you said the Masters King Stallion for a second. Dobby pilled. But yes, you can airlift them with a stallion, yes. Which you can't quite do with a thunderbolt. So they have their niche. Everything has its niche. Just like the Armada, yeah. Definitely a strength that I haven't played of yet, but I should try sometime. Marines also get the Lav AT. I'm not sold on this thing, I guess. How much was I paying? 65? No, 45. That's the thing. Humvee Tow is 45, and you can get a free upgrade for 12 HP. Lav AT doesn't come with smoke, and is 60, like... The armor is so paper thin that it's only got like 10 more on the Humvee. That's crazy, bro. With beak... What? You're telling me that we slapped a bull bar on this thing and our front armor is almost as good as a Lav AT? Lav AT shoots a missile faster, does it? No, it reloads it slower. And the aim time is the same. Unless I'm missing something. Is the missile itself faster? No. Oh, no, the Lav is double the rockets. Yep, that is worth noting. That is worth noting. More autonomy is a thing. There's 2 plus of fire, no? No. No, I mean... No? No, it's 1 times here, so in-game stats, no. Oh, but Milan says the Lav AT has 2 shots before a reload. Oh, look at this stat! Wero's totally right. Oh. Wero's totally right. It's embarrassing, but I'm going to admit this now. I've never even looked at the magazine size stat before. I've just glossed right over it. Lav AT offers better crew protection too. We don't care about that shit in Broken Arrow. That's... Hadn't considered that before. So you are going to get a follow-up shot a bit faster. The reload time is only 5 to 6 seconds, but wait. Does reload time include aim time? Are they aiming while they're reloading? How does that work? Like, if this is 4 plus 6, is that 10 seconds for your follow-up rocket? No, because you're already aiming, right? You only aims once, yeah. Wait, so does the Lav ripple fire? Does it just go bang bang? Ghost says magazine stat is like the whole reason you would upgrade the Avengers to 2 launchers. Oh my god! Oh! Wait a minute though. Wait a minute. Why doesn't it ripple fire them in game then? Is this the stupid AI shit where it's like, oh, I've fired a missile at the helo, so I won't fire another one until the flares defeat it? That is interesting. I wondered why the fuck you'd bother with that. It possibly says Lav can fire one at a time, but right after each other. It will defeat APS targets within 800 meters. Interesting. Okay. You've sold me on the Lav AT. I now see why that's way better than an Avenger. I mean, than a Tow Humvee. That's cool. I didn't think of that, but of course, all the stats have a purpose. Oh, multi-target. What the hell? I didn't see that stat before, ever. The thing is, I haven't seen an Avenger fire 4 missiles that fast anyway, so I don't think I need to spend 40 to fire 8, to be honest. But for the Lav, that price is close enough that I'm sold now. That's cool. I'm in. So 2 pods can complete a burst of 4, says impossibly. Each stinger pod fires burst of 2. Also, the Tow Lav has bunker busters. Yeah, which this one does too, but not as many. Gopher says, I don't know, I like the idea of roving Humvee gangs though. Well, fear not, they're still cheaper. People were asking what you can do with it too. So you can go to Lav A2 armor plus smoke for 15 more. It increases your armor a little bit. I think the main thing you're getting out of this is smoke and HP though. But it does increase your armor a little bit. So there's that. I think the big thing here, the big coster, is modernizing for 25. This gives you much better tows. This gives you the Tow 2B. The Tow 2A is a frontal attack weapon, just like fires horizontally. The Tow 2B is a top attack weapon. So it always targets tanks on their weakest armor, their top armor, and it fucks hard for that reason. Now, beforehand, I wouldn't have said I wanted this, though, because of my feeling that these things weren't that good, but now that I look at the magazine size... The armor actually gives it camouflage, too? What? No, it doesn't. Unless you mean the smoke. It does give it smoke, yeah. Oh, wait, I see what you're saying. Shut up! I see what you mean. Black Ops going dark. My wife says the burst of 2 Bs can straight kill a tank if it doesn't have APS. Yeah, that's pretty exciting, actually. And I guess the damage is low enough that it actually will ripple fire them at the same target, unlike... Yeah, because it's only 12. So it actually will see a tank and fire 2 at the same tank, unlike... Some units will just be like, oh no, one at a time, please. Not get into a game. It comes and goes. We get like a game an hour right now. What knows is better scouting? It actually doesn't. Seem to. That is a choice, though. I think now I see what I want to do here. Is I would probably bring the Lav AT and the Humvees. And I'd bring the Humvees for cheap. Because that's double the price now, right? That's the thing, is once you modernize, you could bring basically 2 Humvees for 1 Lav ATM. 1 Lav Asta. Don't say that. And you could split them up and not get bombed, right? And the armor's about the same. And if you go here, now it's 100. That costs a shitload. Might be worth it, I don't know. Like, you have to decide how many eggs you want to put in the basket. Modernizer, but not armor is a better scout. Oh! I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, that's cool too. Doesn't really matter to me too much, because I mainly value this in woods, but yeah, I mean, sure, that is cool. But yeah, I feel like you probably want like one of these, and then, you know, you want to have this in your deck, and you want to have these in your deck for different situations. But that is cool, that impresses me. Okay, we're probably going to be using those. Now I gotta think about magazine size. Usually I'm looking at these stats, I guess. Now I gotta think about magazine size and shit. Fuck. Damn, man. Barley says, is potentially King Stanley transportable? Yeah. No, that is super useful, Barley, for sure. Especially because with the greater Helo tab, you can actually bring multiple King Stallions if you want. Which I probably will. Stingers? What about them? Oh, Stingers, yeah. When I do build this squad, I will be bringing Stinger teams. If you want to see the deck I use, type ! deck for the one I've been using. It's this one. And I'm all about the Stinger teams, yeah. All about them. Okay. So, let's keep looking. This is fun looking at all the advantages. Because I'm learning shit, too. You guys are showing me shit. MTVRs are a pretty fucking cool truck. They can bring 18. This does matter for my breakpoints of rollout, so I really appreciate it. They can bring 18 soldiers and 6,000 heavy lift weight. They can also be put in a helicopter. Cool as fuck. Oak says that the totals on the deck is an actual limit recommendation for various units. It's kind of like a soft cap recommendation. You can go 10% over. But this is a hard cap up here. Total is a hard cap. But anyway, yeah. We get the best truck, basically. The Marines get the best truck. It's the heaviest, but it's the best at being a truck. It's a little bit more expensive. If you wanted to, you could just make it a troop transport, but I think bringing supplies is really cool of it. If you want to put a grenade launcher on it, nobody can stop you, but I don't think I would. But I mean, hey, you know, no one's gonna fucking stop you. It's your deck. No punishment for going over points. No, you're allowed to go up to 10% over. You can't go more than 10% over of what your normal, of what the soft cap is. But there's nothing wrong with going orange, you just can't go red. If you go red, the deck's invalid. And you can't go over the total limit. Where was I? Yep, so that's cool. These are useful. I didn't use these in the airborne deck before. I don't know if I'll use them here when we redo this deck. But LMTVs are just the light version of the truck. They carry much less, they have less seats. But they're lighter. They're also cheaper. Avengers we've seen before. That's an airborne thing. Lav Ls are awesome. My White says, finding leftover than pricing GLs over 50 cows last beta. What do you mean? Of how expensive that is. Yeah, in some places they're not. Lav Ls are hella good. 25 points is cheap as fuck. It's so disposable. And then 25 points more for the supplies. They carry 2,500, which is a nice amount for a little ambulance. These things are like ambulances, basically. You just bring all of them to the front line, and it's only like 100 upkeep, which is nothing. You have them all sitting there in the front line full of supplies, and they're like little worker bee ambulances. As someone needs supplies, you drive the lab over, give them supplies, drive back to the supply dump, get more. Really good for that. Yeah, way cheaper than the truck. If you want, you can up armor them to make them honestly quite survivable. Smoke and 16 health, it's nothing to sneeze at. 60 front armor and sides armor. You could go the whole hog and even give them a fucking grenade launcher. And now you've got a 45 unit that can carry supplies that has a grenade launcher. You can go 5 for an M2. But for me personally, I'm probably going to change my opinion on this as we play, and I'll go, oh, I actually want them to be combat vehicles now. But I think just their cheapness is their best asset. 25 is insanely good for what they can do for you. Because remember that last match where I was like, I don't have enough supplies, and you just need those supplies. You need ammo, you need it now. I think the value is, because every unit costs upkeep when it's on the map, just having these guys always at your front line. Always ready to go. And if you lose one, who the fuck cares? Just get a new one. Always have them. If I could bring 8 of them, I would. I think they're so good. Lav AD. So now I gotta look at mag size compared to the Avenger. Because again, I was poo-pooing this thing compared to the Avenger, but... Hang on. Aim time... Yeah, you've got longer range on this too, right? 800 meters... Way longer range on your gun. It can also be used against infantry in a pinch, of course. Magazine size is 90. That is interesting, okay, but 0 reload time, so it probably doesn't matter. But anyway, what we're really here for is the Stingers. They're identical, yeah? No. So the Lav by default comes with the twin pods. Okay. So now that I know that magazine size is a thing and potentially matters, that is interesting. That is interesting. Okay, so maybe the Lav AD does have a point. Can you play the game? I have. I've got... Don't lie for me, Yuka. I've got to play a couple of matches. I don't take nukes, personally. Someone asking about nukes. Meh to all that. No Simon says this deck. I'm just gonna empty everything out so everyone understands I've not actually built this deck yet. I haven't built it yet. It's not built. We're just looking at units. Get rid of them. Not changing that shit though. Shark says no vehicles or infantry in this deck? Shut up! Mile Wise says the other point of the Lav AD is that if you're playing a US mirror, it can tank a Hellfire. That's cool. But it can't tank Russian ATGMs? That's bad. I will say that 140 is pretty fucking expensive, though. 140 is a lot of eggs in a basket. Yo, does it have 2 guys in there? Oh my god, it's like the StarCraft missile turret. There's 2 Marines in there. Why does it keep moving? Is it aiming at me? What is a Brutus? It's a, airdroppable, paladin, basically. It's an airdroppable howitzer. It's pretty cool. I'm a fan of it. Hey, yeah, those were neat, JRQ. Oh, it's just not the Lemur, but against Vickers, the Avenger can also tank as a B-kit. Huh, okay. What's the weapon upgrade for the Lav AD? So let's have a look. So, it's actually kind of like an alternate. It lets you go down from the dual Stinger pods to have a Hydra rocket pod instead that has 19 rockets. I could see this as like an everyman unit, where you drive this with your infantry squad, and then it can kill helicopters, but it can also be like, hey look, an enemy infantry squad, eat shit, and just kind of like blast it. Why would you put a Hydra on an air defense? So you can do the thing I just said. So you can just like mulch an enemy infantry squad when you run into it as like a supporting unit. I can definitely see the value of it. I appreciate the option. Like, the number of Hydras isn't huge, but it's pretty good for free, and you're just giving up the magazine size thing, which again, because of their AI, I haven't seen them ripple fire that much anyway. Oh, I see why. No, I see why. It's because they can only fire 2 at once, I guess. Is that 2 different targets or 2 missiles at once? Wait, Hydra works against helos? No. What? Wait a minute, what? Yes? Apparently? Hold on, let him cook. Okay, now that's actually interesting. Can all Hydras do that? I have not heard of this before. No, only this one. Okay, that's interesting. Benny says, the point of the Hydra pod was a cheap aerospace rocket for anti-drone work. I see. This is actually interesting, because that's a different weapon type to shoot the helicopters with, while your Stinger is busy on cooldown, not being able to fire at the same target. That's actually good, I think. It's not as good at long range, but it does mean if you were in the woods with this thing and a helicopter flies overhead, it depends, like, how accurate are the Hydras? Like, if you can't hit it on a flying helicopter, it's a bit different. But that is really fucking good. Within 1,000 meters, that will mulch if that all hits. Also, useful against infantry. I kind of like that. That kind of makes me want to bring this more. And then you have armor. You can go up to 16 for your armor kit. You get smoke. Get a bit more armor, blah, 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 blah. It does make the vehicle that much more expensive, though. I don't know if I love it. Then let me replace the other Stinger pod, too. Anyway, yeah, I feel like it's pretty fucking expensive, but I guess... Benny says, the problem with the Hydra pod in game is that the Lav AD only fires 1 Stinger at a time instead of 2. 1 Hydra time instead of 2? Wait, what? Oh, the Hydra pod. Yeah, but it doesn't fire 2 at once with 2 pods, does it? Because otherwise it would need to be a 2 times launcher here, and it doesn't say that. Otherwise, I would definitely see the value in bringing Avenger with 2 pods. People explain the magazine size thing to me, but I still don't think that's my issue. Just in a game, why not? I might. Akinless says, what is the AVP Miklik? It's the stupid-ass unit I don't want to talk about ever. Benny says, IR Ripple fires 2 missiles with both the launchers, but it only fires 1 at a time with only 1 launcher? That's bad UI then, because they're meant to put a 2 times here whenever that's happening. Well, that makes it a no-brainer that the Lav AD is better then. That makes it way better. I have seen the Cat Fay premise, and I hate them both. Well, shit, I mean, I've got dumb Avengers then. Then of course I should be taking the double missile pods. No wonder my Avengers fucking suck, but I was just going off the stats, which made me think it wouldn't make him shoot any quicker. But also, as Malwide says, it does in fact shoot twice, but remember that multiple units will try to overkill if 2 Stingers are in the air. Still though, that's still really good. Okay, that changes everything then on how I build. Oh yeah, the servers are fucked, Banger. You just gotta either wait till later, wait till tomorrow hopefully, or just keep trying and have patience. The devs are asleep right now, so it won't be getting fixed for like at least another like 7 or 8 hours. And that would be a quick estimate. Yeah, sorry, Banger. I love the game, so I'm sticking it out. And I got decks to build anyway, like I said. Alright, well anyway, that's most of that tab. You also get with the Marines this giant truck. If you want a truck that for 40 cost can bring 15,000 supplies, this is for you. I don't. For B kit, it can be like a little more armored. If you could put like Marines inside that shipping crate, I would bring this, but you can't. If I could pile like 60 Marines in there, you open up the crate and they just come out, that'd be great. In fact, that would probably be... If you could put people in this, I would just have a B-kit armor, grenade launcher, LVSR attack with 60 Marines in the back. But sadly you can't, so what could have been? Valdir says, is this one strictly multiplayer? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, the voice is Valdir. Does Rusho help at all? Not that I've heard of so far. Raziel says, at 130 for 2 pods for the Avenger, the Lav AD seems like a better value for Twin Stingers. Yes, I agree. Helos. Now, Helos is where shit gets really fun. Helos and air gets really fun for the Marines because we get to bring Cobras, and we have more transport options as well. So we do still want some longbows because they're sick. But I think what I'm going to do, because I've really seen the light of the Kiowa Stinger pack, is I'm going to do a combo of Kiowa with Stingers and then a Viper with Sidewinders, I think. I usually have been taking the Sidewinders off because 2 Sidewinders on their own don't do much. So in previous betas, I was just like, save the money. However, now that's going to be paired with Kiowas as escort. That actually helps. I don't know if it helps 40, though. Right? 40 is quite expensive, honestly. That's fucking expensive. Jesus, that's expensive. Man, I could get a Super Cobra with 38 Hydras for 115. That ain't bad. Do you just put 4 Stingers on your Kiowa? Yep, I don't take a sensor pod. I keep the cost down. Apache's in my Marine Corps. That's airborne. That's the airborne influence. But yeah, so we get the Viper and the Super Cobra. The Super Cobra is just the older, cheaper version with a sick paint job. Good for being able to bring cheaper Sidewinders. Like, it's good to be able to go, okay, I don't need Hellfires, I just want a bit of ground Kaz work with my Kiowas, so I'll just bring them. It's pretty cool. You can bring these, like, sidearms, I guess. I guess they can outrange. These are, like, harms for helicopters. It's kind of cool, but I'm not a believer in them yet. Wish USMC could bring the on-toss. I mean, that'd be too powerful. There's no way. They would never let us. It's too good. You go to the new version, now you get 4 rotors instead of 2. You get the Hellfires, but I kind of wonder if I even want Hellfires on a Viper. Honestly, the non-fire... These ones aren't fire and forget, like the Apaches, so I think that makes them a lot worse. I think probably you're better off cutting down the cost by just bringing a shitload of rockets. Man, you're paying a lot for those APKWSs. Because you bring the side ones, you're paying 220. I mean, it's great for Kaz work that isn't killing heavy tanks, and you can still have the longbows for heavy tanks. Yeah, I agree, Mahabad, I agree. That is a lot of rockets that is going to eat up a combat zone. You got a worse gun though, right? Yeah, you got a Vulcan, you got a Gatling, whereas you actually have a chain gun. But I mean, the cannons don't really do a lot on these helicopters, honestly. Just like all autocannons are a bit weak in this game, it is the rocket pods that really fuck. Cherokee says, on the longbow, I wish I would use the guided rockets and put the Hellfires, since they can lock on faster if it gets close. What do you mean? You mean the guided rockets better than the non-guided rockets? Difference between AP, KWS, and Hydra. A bit longer range. If we go to here. You can see 1400 to 1200. They're a bit more precise as well. Chicky says AA. I would use the guided rockets and Hellfires. Looking faster. Unfortunately, the longbow can't bring AA. That's the secret of the Viper, is it can actually bring the Sidewinders, which is cool. So it means instead of Kiowas, you could just go like a pair of Vipers. If you're not expecting a lot of enemy helicopters. Boofer says, it seems like the helis are better for the peek and shoot strategy, so things like rocket pods or machine guns where you need time on target might not be as great. Yes and no. That's obviously the goal we all want, is to be able to do pop-up attacks. I find that the aim time of the Hellfires is not competitive with the aim time of enemy radar AA for that strategy. If there is enemy AA in range that sees you as you pop up, it will spot you. I would say that if you use the 1.25 stealth on a longbow at like max range, you might be able to get away with it. But generally, when I do a pop-up attack with a longbow, I get a stinger launched at me, which is sometimes worth the trade because the longbow is very tanky. Way more armor. Let's go double the armor of the Viper and more health. So you can survive that, but you will take a hit. Still, it is something you can do, yes. You can do pop-up Hellfire attacks. And that is a good case to be made for not having the Hydras. But for a Viper, which I wouldn't want to do pop-up with anyway because they're so much weaker, Kaz is definitely better there, I think. JQ says, my bad, I meant bring the APKWS and Hellfires. I think I 2 Hellfires. Oh, no. Actually, when I make this deck, I'm probably going to be doing, like, straight up just all Hydras. With the Vipers. And then I'm going to leave the Longbows for the anti-tank work. But yeah, Vipers are pretty cool for what they can bring, I think. Pretty fucking cool. Nice optics, too. Chinook is still good, but now the Chinook is actually much worse, because now you're competing against all of the Marines' helicopter transport options, and they have a lot of good ones. They have the Osprey, there's the Venom as well, the King Stallion, Super Stallion. They have a lot of good options. So the Osprey is really goated for its speed. It has been nerfed price-wise. It is way more expensive than it used to be. But going 500 is a lot. Like, that is a lot more. It's almost double a lot of helicopters. 290 for the Chinook, 280 for the Black Hawk. It's only the King Stallion that makes it a little bit, you know, not quite almost a double. The Osprey goes fast as fuck. You're paying for that in the price. If you don't lose it, though, it refunds quicker, so you can think of it that way. It also has other advantages, like, it carries a lot of people. Its lift capacity isn't great, but it can bring, like, 2 ISVs, which is fun to compare, the Airborne Jeep, which is fun to combine it with Airborne. Pretty good lift weight. Like, if you can compare it to, like a Black Hawk, like, pretty fucking good to bring 28 people, by the way. 28 people! This guy's having a great time of his Tim's on in the back as well, so that's fun. Wait, it says unarmed, but you have a GAU 21. Make it make sense. I guess for the Marines, a single GAU 21 counts as unarmed, but you can get a minigun, a GAU 17 door gun as well. Where does it go? Apparently you get both? Is this a bug? I'm just looking underneath? No way. Oh, cool! Okay, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So, like, one of the Marines just gets to have a great time playing video games in the center. Impossible says, it's worth noting you have to make sure you set the unload point way ahead of time, otherwise it overshoots the landing. Yes! Yes, because the agility is not good on this thing. But, just the speed of the Osprey is amazing. Like, you saw in those last matches how I was very much making use of the Black Hawks to be like, I need shit here now. And it was getting there pretty quick, but imagine if it was there twice as quick. That's an Osprey for you. So, definitely valuable. Whereas, says, compared to the Black Hawks, it's cheaper since you need 2 Black Hawks for the same job and you transport Vix. Yes, you could look at it that way, as I was often calling in 2 Black Hawks. However, you gotta remember all your eggs in a basket is a problem. You can get in trouble doing the all your eggs in a basket thing of the Ospreys. Octi says, how much do you usually want to be moving around supplies-wise? Is there a too many eggs in one basket issue of the heavier lifts? So supplies I'm not really worried about as much, but you pay upkeep on dead units as well as alive ones. It's not until they finish respawning and can be ordered again that you stop paying upkeep on them. So it's quite dangerous to lose a lot of shit at once. But the cheaper the unit is, the less dangerous it is, because they'll respawn quicker. And they all respawn simultaneously. It's just based on how expensive they are. Generally, though, yeah, like, I wouldn't want to fill the Osprey to capacity unless I was 90% sure I'm not going to get intercepted. That's not impossible to do. Like, if you have a proper front line, you can generally find places to drop in. And with the speed of the Osprey, you're in and out quicker. Is physical size of the unit something to consider? Yeah, I mean, I think this game does do, like, projectiles hitting the model. So, I think that matters. The Black Hawk is much smaller. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I don't know, actually. Like, is this going to get near-missed by stingers more than this? Who knows? You have to test it. Corrupted says, what the upkeep? I never knew that units on the cooldown on their upkeep. Yep. So, the more expensive a unit, the longer it takes to respawn in your deck. And you're paying upkeep the whole time, unless they've changed that from the previous betas. So if you lose a 400-point tank, you're waiting a really long time because it's so expensive for it to respawn, and you're paying upkeep on that tank the entire time. So it's risky to bring in very expensive units. You have to be careful with them. I like that. I think it's a good detail, but if you don't know it, you know, it's important to know. Very important to know. Some people don't even know that there's upkeep on units at all. That changes everything? Yeah. That's why, these days, that is one of many, many reasons why I've moved to running very cheap units in my deck that are effective at their roles. I've really started keeping the costs down. Whereas before, I was a real luxury queen. I would take the upgrades on everything. I don't do that anymore. For many reasons, and that's one of them. Anyway, Osprey goated. The Venom I want to use, but I don't. The Venom is actually pretty cool, the combo of Airborne, because it can bring an Airborne squad of 8 soldiers. Yeah, exactly, Corpdini, exactly, yeah. Or Corpardini. It's 65, so it's saving 15 off a Black Hawk, It used to have like 1.75 stealth, it lost that sadly, but that was goated. Optics are good if you want a recon helo, I don't really want that. It can still bring 2,500 supplies, which is fine in a pinch. And yeah, like that's like... It's got like a bit worse ECM. You can bring miniguns on it, but I would want to keep it cheap, I think. But still, like, if you want, you can make it into a really cheap close air support platform. For 80, you can bring 14 Hydro rockets and 2 miniguns. Yeah, I mean, you know, you could do that. I think at that point, rather bring like a really cut down Viper though, with double the rockets and the cannon. But you know, you can do it. I think more interesting about it is just it being a cheap light helicopter option for when you... What is that noise in my house? What is that noise? Has someone broken into my home? What's going on out here? Feel good? You look good. So, how long have you been trapped in here? Oh, poor baby. Mom left you in the craft room. Bad mummy. My poor cat trapped in the craft room. Oh, I think you're not getting to another game, brother. This is how it went for me last time. Don't worry. We waited like over an hour to get another match. It just is what it is. I will keep searching as long as I've still got decks to do. No, I've got like 2 matches in like 5 hours, Astro. And yet I'm still here. I wonder if there is a trick. I seem to remember cancelling and restarting the queuing helped last time. There are people in battle. There's people in battles, which means people are still getting into matches. Anyway, yeah, I think the Venom is cool for cutting down the cost on the Black Hawk. So it has a purpose. And then you have the Super Stallion and the King Stallion. Pretty good lift capacity. Price points are good. If you compare the Osprey directly to the King Stallion, because they're the same price, yeah. 16,000 heavy lift weight is just really good. And you'll see that the number of seats is the same, so you really are just bringing it for that. But that is valuable. Having that kind of airborne lift capacity is very valuable. Cupidini says, wait, I found a bug. When you give the King Stallion a minigun, it gives it 500 spotting range. So I mean an Osprey. Wait, really? Huh. I don't think it's a bug. I think it's intentional. Go and come back. Yeah, because it's got an optic system on it. Huh, neat. I don't really want optics on my Osprey, but it does make that choice slightly more valid. Slightly more tempting, I mean. Cool. Good spot. Nah, spot, get it? Anyway. Yeah, I think you definitely want some of these, some of these, some of these, some of these. You want a bit of everything. As you can see, the problem is you kind of run out of slots. Finally, let's look at the very, very fun tab that everybody loves to play with, Air. You get a massive Air tab with USMC plus Airborne. You go from 1,000 in armor to 2,500. It's 1,000, isn't it, in Heliborn? Yeah, no, it's 1,500. Okay, but you still get 1,000 more. You can do a lot with the options presented, because you also get the Marines Air, which means you get to use F-18s. You, if you want them, get to use the Prowlers for dedicated seed, and we can sit in the seed plane and hold hands as we blow up the Bucks. There is the Harvest Hawk if you want it, I don't. You get the F-35s, which are never to be sneezed at. These things are very good for being fuck you guns. You get Harriers as well for really cheap options. Just a lot of options to let you be more flexible, and the points to do it. Bencher says, really? You can War Thunder the planes? What do you mean? Like, as in, like, load them out. Oh, there's so many good planes. I've gone through a lot of different builds with jets because you can get in. No, shut up. No. Oh, there's 4 guys. What? There's 4 crew in this thing. I didn't know that. So that's good, because if you do an F-15X for seed work, you're only killing 2 guys when it fails. But if you want to kill 4 Marine Aviators at once, the Prowler is way better bang for your buck. Excellent. It is a Prowler kill. But yeah, I've done builds that are like very expensive strike packages, but I've pulled back from that now, and I've started to lean to more towards like, you don't want to go too much above 300 for your jets, because it just makes them so hard to call in, and if you lose one, the upkeep is horrendous. Show me the C-17. Oh, C-17 big, baby. It's a big motherfucker, and we're going to be running one in this deck, most likely. But you get great options, so you've got F-15Cs or dedicated air superiority fighters. I love that for 285, I can get 3 fuel tanks and 4 sidewinders and 2 AMRAMs, which is amazing, because it makes these things good at killing helicopters as well. Striegel can be built for different kinds of packages. I had one here that I was considering cluster bombs, I think. No, this is just the default one. I didn't have a Striegel in this deck. You can go cluster bombs, you can go JDAMs, you can go regular bombs. The choice is yours. JDAMs are really good. As we saw in the last match, it is good to have 2,000 pound JDAMs. But being able to just like carpet bomb an area is for cheaper is also really good. Like, I don't think 1 for 1 is a good trade there. But like, what have we got? Like, no, okay, I mean, that's, I guess. You could bring 4 precision for 180 versus 4 without precision for 150. Precision is still winning there for sure. And then 2 for 85. You're not saving much for the precision. The thing is, sometimes you want to do a bombing run, but it's so much less survivable. I think I'd definitely be sticking to the JDAMs. How's that thing only 300 fuel with 3 fuel tanks on it? This thing, it's 360. That's how. So yeah, your Striegel is here to just bomb the shit out of things, which is cool. You can bring it with AMRAMs as well. It does have the option. And then you have the FX, the F-15X. Now, the way I build this thing like before, and I'll talk about it more here, is for seed. But you can build it pretty much any way you want. One of the advantages of the FX, which you pay for in its price, is that it can do pretty much any loadout. It can do all the bombs that the Striegel can do. It can do, like, 20 AMRAMs. It can do crazy shit. They can all be given their own designated pods for self-laging. I do that less these days. But the thing I really value on the FX that the other F-15s can't do is seed. You can combine for a pretty reasonable price for what you're getting away with 2 10,000 meter range, 10 kilometer range strike cruise missiles, and 2 8,000 meter, 8 kilometer range HARMs, which are anti-radiation seed missiles, which home in on active radar AA. This is a really good combo. Because, especially because of the AI won't fire all your HARMs at once with Prowlers, it'll fuck up and not do it. This allows you to just fuck people up. Because you fire the cruise missile, so you spot where the enemy AA is, you bring in 1 FEX or 2 FEXs if you have 2 in your deck, and you fire the cruise missiles at where the radar AA is. Then you keep flying at them and you fire HARMs. If they keep their radar on, you fire the HARMs off, which overwhelms their air defenses even more. Which means one of the missiles is likely to get through and kill the target. If they turn their radar off to avoid your seed, they have really low chances of stopping the JASMs, and then the JASMs just kill them. So it's kind of like a catch-22 you put them into. It's like, get fucked either way. The other really good thing about the JASMs is they work on units that have turned their radar off, because they're just precision-guided munitions. You just decide where they go. So you can do that even if they turn their radars off. You can kill things that have their radars off. You can kill artillery. You can kill anything. And it's a very low risk to the FEX, because if all you want to do is fire the cruise missiles, you will never get targeted back. You will fire and get out of there way too quickly. And even with the HARMs, you can almost always get your HARMs off and get out of harm's way, no pun intended, before you take any accurate fire back. Do seed missiles require a loss? I mean, they require... I don't think they require a loss, because I think you can fly in low and seed as well. But they don't require you to see the unit, if that's what you mean. They definitely don't require you to see them. As long as a thing has radar on, they will auto-home on it, even though you can't see them. Whereas, says, I find the cruise missiles on strike aircraft too expensive compared to cruise missile ships like the B-1. Yeah, I tried the B-1 with cruise missiles, because the Fex fires both its cruise missiles instantly, and I was like, that's sick. And I was like, holy shit, for 600, I can bring the B-1 Lancer with 8 of these. But the problem is they fire them so slowly. Unless you can, like, crank while you're doing it, I think you fly into the enemy's AA net too much. Like, you can get 24 cruise missiles for 800, which seems like a lot until you consider that I'd happily bring in 2 Fexes to do the same job. 24 cruise missiles is fucking cool, but I have to experiment and see if I can crank while firing them. If you can fly sideways while firing this so you stay out of the enemy's AA, it's fine. But if you have to fly into the enemy's AA to fire these, you'll only have got like 4 out by the time you're getting hit by AA, which isn't enough. Capodini says, so I can just hide a pivot behind the skyscraper and bait out all the seed? That's a really good question. Probably not. You're probably right that you need the missile needs to be able to lost the target. That's a really good question. That's easy to test too. That should be tested. Sammy says, you can easily fire them from your spawn. Yeah, it's just more a case of like, can you do it while flying sideways? Because the first ones will come out no problem, but you're flying towards the enemy as you're firing them, so by the time you've got like 6 out, you're getting shot. Sammy says, yes, you can do it sideways. They fly out at the 90-degree angles. Okay, then that's fine. Then this has a point then, yes. For sure, that is value. Remember though, you are paying for the missiles, so that looks like you're paying 700 for all 24 missiles. That is still a lot. Like, you better be hitting shit with that. I mean, paying 500 for 8 of these isn't very good either. You're paying so much money for that. Man. What about an 84 Snake Eye B1B Lancer drop? You're still paying 500 though. If I was paying like 300 for this and 300 for the jet, I'd be like, okay. But even if the jet lives, you're paying 500 for this. That said, if the enemy clusters like fuck, that whole point is gone. It's just gone. Barley says, apparently the carpet volume for the Snake Eyes goes over a little mile. Yeah. Somebody says, the Snake Eyes are a trap with such a long line of bombs. I mean, yeah! But fucking hell, it'll be fun. Oh man, those are 2,000 pounds! 24 2,000-pound bombs! That's nuts. That's the real point deleter. The only problem is you can't do it at low altitude, but the plane only costs 100, right? It ain't coming back. But do you pay upkeep? The thing is, if it gets home, you don't have to pay upkeep on the 600 points. Whereas if it dies, you have to pay 600 points of upkeep. I still can't see myself using this. But for 600, it's much closer to an Eagle. Like, you could feasibly put this in your deck and use it. JQ says, bro, the Snake Eye bombs would be amazing on the highway map. Oh yeah, just like troll the enemy by just like running their ground route with this. Like on maps that only have one vehicle route, just like run this along the road at the start. It's probably like the biggest griefing thing you could do. That's fun. I gotta try that sometime, that sounds fun. Look at them, all of them! Look at all those chickens! I like how they show you the bombs. Anyway, we're getting a little bit sidetracked. F-35s are still amazing, of course. Need no introduction. They're just amazing. JSOW and 3 Stormbreakers plus 1.75 self, 28% ECM and 15 flares, and a self-laze, all for 295. Do whatever the fuck you want. No one can stop you. F-35s can't be stopped. They're bullies. You don't need to seed the enemy to use these. You just need to micro them right, and they will not be shot down. Do you ever see yourself using a nuke, says Jeff? Probably not. I feel like I would rather just saturate an area with JASMs or run like the 2,000-pound bombs over the area. But they have a point. I don't think I'd want to use them for that price, for 1,000, but they have a point. If they ever add airdrop mines, I'd be so cancer. I hope they never do. That sounds terrible. Mines in general sounds terrible. The nuke needs to be bigger. Can I change my mind, says Barley? I won't try then. But I'm glad it's not too big. Anyway, then you get into the Hornets. So the Hornets are not just like a cheaper version of the F-15, because, by the way, pay attention to the fact that the F-15 has better turn radius, better maneuverability, and a bit more speed. These things do matter. But F-15 does have better ECM there. The big thing, however, the really interesting thing is the missiles that you get. So, sorry, again, if you compare it to the F-15C, the big thing is the missiles. We can get the new AIM-174s hot off the presses on the F-18s, which is cool. So these things have 6,000 range. No, that's AMRAAMs. They have 8,000 range. So they have 2,000 more range than the AMRAAMs. So you are going to fire first. Also, with the way that air-to-air combat works, it's going to allow you to go cold faster, which means you can afterburn and outrun the missile faster. I do want to try them. I do really want to try them. They also have more damage. I don't think they one-shot because... well, they don't one-shot anyway because of health points. Which means maybe you'll fire 2 of them at once. Good. Anyway, the point is, they have that extra range. They can one-shot? Really? But how? 20 health to 19 damage. How the fuck does that work? Do you do extra damage? Or something? Do you crit? I think every plane has 20 HP. Really? Is it just America? I've never heard anyone complain about that bias. There's no way. They want to Russian flags? Really? Hold on. Semi-cooking. 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. That paint job is mean. I like that paint job. Anyway, 25, 20. It was the drones in one shot? Yeah, you fucking motherfucker. Anyway, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing that they statistically don't one shot, in my opinion, because the AI logic right now is units will not fire 2 missiles at a target if the first missile would kill it, technically, which is fine, except that doesn't work out well in game because flares and evasion exists. So what actually happens in practice is you fire 1 missile and you know it's going to get flared or laser APS'd or evaded, but your unit will still be like, I don't need to fire more, I'm going to save my ammo, and, you know, inevitably that makes your unit much less effective. So I actually think it's actually good that these don't quite one-shot, because it means we should see them fire 2 of them at a time to overwhelm enemy defenses in an air-to-air fight, which I like. There's no such thing as magazine size for you guys, right? No. Lead pursuit missile, terminal guidance. Okay, so somebody was saying some bullshit that these are semi-active, but they're clearly not. That's good. Sparrows are semi-active, these are not. Sparrows are cheap, hey. Are there any helicopters where that damage matters? Probably. So I like that. I wanna try the 174s again. I've been doing Ace Combat at the start of the match with 4 F-15s, and it inevitably turns into all of them dying because they go into the furball and fucking explode. I also really like that these things provide an anti-helicopter option for later. Only 74 people in battle. Yeah, but one of them is going to be me in a second. And the timer just cycles over. Fair enough. Benny says, you do still have to guide him to a point there, Beagle. I'm just not sure what that point is. Interesting. I wonder if the website tells us. Where is that website gone? I don't know. I lost it. I'll find it later. Sano says, oh, mad she knows search. She knew about a plummeting is bleak. Yeah. It's looked better, folks. But we have to believe there'll be another match. We can believe it. Just reading their Discord, seeing if anyone's saying anything. Nothing new. See you, Barley. Have a good one. Won't even let me connect to search, so I don't think you got a chance. No, I don't think I do either, but there's no reason to not queue. Can I see your infantry picks? Yeah, just type !deck and you can see them. Anyway, yeah, I think I'll be trying these. What kind of build can we get? I want Sidewinders too. Sidewinders keeps the price down because if you go all in on the 174s, the fucker is quite expensive. You can't multi-target, hey? Neither can these. Huh? Wait a minute. Can these really not multi-target? Multi-target is a specific stat that's been showing up on other things. Like when you look at the... When you look at the Lav AD, it says multi-target 2. Can these not fire more AMRAMs until the first AMRAM explodes? Or... is their UI just, like, not being truthful here? That's a big difference. Oh, they're such big missiles, too. So Jeff Whaley says, did Broken Arrow have to pay license to all of these real things? I don't think so. Oh, I was gonna look, I forgot what it was in Possibly Profane. It was something about the AIM-174. I can't remember what it was. Oh, these come with default Sidewinders. That's nice, so you can still use them against helicopters. It possibly says they don't multi-target like ground systems, but have a merge property based on the ammo count, meaning more AMRAMs, faster fire rate. Okay. I love Hornets too, looks so cool. I hope Hornets come out for War Thunder this December. Someone left their spanners on though. Will AMRAMs fire at the same time as AIM-174s? They won't, right? The radar, I think they model the fact that the radar can't do that. Or... I guess they could? No, they wouldn't be able to do that. Maybe they would? Anyway. I think you want to cut the price off there. Or you want to go AMRAMs, 174s plus AMRAMs instead of this. Like, you could go 2 AIM-174s and 2 AMRAMs. It possibly says, well, they should, they currently do not. That'll be interesting. If they ever make them do that, this will become an oppressive plane. Maybe they'll never let them do that for that reason. Because you would be spewing missiles out with this thing. What's the C-17 for in this deck? We don't know yet. We're still rebuilding it. How much do you cut the price down? 340 is a lot. I want fuel tanks too. I really value fuel tanks. So let's say we go 2 fuel tanks. Oh, word. The F-18C can bring 2,000-pound bombs. Oh, word. Oh, they're not precision, though. If those were JDAMs, forget about it. Anyway, down to the fuel tanks, which is 290. And you go 320. And that gives you some closer range missiles to mop up with. It gives you the AIM-174s for the longer range initial poke. For some reason the C gets the Del bombs now. Now with the merge system, an F-15X with 20 AIM-120s can fire every 1 to 2 seconds. That's pretty cool. If the FEX could, like, get over that. Like, if it wasn't for the dumb AI thing where they won't fire more missiles at a target than they think are necessary, the FEX would be dominant. The FEX would just be, like, obliterating things on its own, I think. Though, it still has to be in range of the enemy to fire them, so you can still lose that FEX. Do mech engineers for USA do anything worthwhile, says Kara? Yeah, they have stupid HE rocket bullshit against infantry. They're good at killing infantry. It possibly says, well, air units don't multi-target per se. They can fire terminal guidance missiles individually at different aircraft. Okay. I guess the best use case for the FEX is when they have like 20 jets and you only sent one, but then you're still going to lose in that situation. I think I'd rather have this loadout. I like this loadout. And you can get it down to 290 if you want, but I think having the extra 2 AMRAMs is worth it on an air superiority fighter. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap there. And it keeps us nice and armed for our job. I like this build. I'm gonna save that for later. The Dean says, watching the VOD, just saw Beagle talk about AT weapons with thermobaric effects being super effective against infantry. That's kind of the point of thermobarics, though. They're literally shaking your brain to defy shockwaves. Armor doesn't help. Coverage isn't effective as you'd think. They're only limited by delivery methods. Okay, but that's what I mean, is in-game they're too effective as, like, because of that reason. Like, you need to arbitrate it. You need to be more arbitrary of the game design mechanics. Like, until, like, BBC is reporting the state of modern day wars and they're like, yo, everybody's just running around with thermobaric rocket launchers, like that's all everyone does. Until that's the case, I don't like it from that standpoint of immersion, and I also don't like it from a game balance standpoint because I think it's just annoying. I think game balance wise, first and foremost, it's just annoying as well. They just shouldn't be that effective against infantry in my opinion. But also, like, the delivery methods, that is important, I think. Like, then, if that's the case, if you want to play it that way with the thermobarics being that good, then the small should have, like, way more aim time. And, you know, needs more drawbacks like that, right? So that by the time you actually get to fire the small, you've already been suppressed to shit by the raiders, grenade launchers, and shit. Because right now, the small just fires, and you're just fucked. And it's silly. Dean says that's what the Brutino is. Oh, you hate the small? Yeah, it was the small we were talking about. Yeah, that the Dean's referencing. I do hate it. Yeah, I think it's stupid. Yeah, and that can be true too, Sammy. Incursions says, quick, everyone at every modern military and tell them to adopt a new meta despite a streamer. Just lie and say it's despite Germa. Yeah, he's popular. They'll probably do it for him. Anyway, yeah, until like modern infantry combat is just like people playing Quake Rocket Tag, I don't fuck with the people who, like, use a realism argument to say, like, well, it should be like that. There's reasons, you know, I don't think it's good either for game balance or for immersion. It just feels wrong to me for a lot of reasons. Anyway, F-18D you have as well. So this can bring cruise missiles like the Fex does. Yeah, I've been waiting over an hour. I've been waiting an hour and 18, Henrik. I think we might be cooked. But people are still in battle. How are these 51 people in battle? It's been over an hour for me. Their battle should be ending. Let me in! Let me in! Anyway, yeah. F-15D can bring cruise missiles much cheaper than the Fex. The problem is, it can't bring the harms, so it's way less effective at its job of seeding. However, you can see in this deck what I did is I did one Fex and one cruise missile F-18 to work together. Why is the queue so long? Because the servers are dead. Checkmate says they said on the Discord that those steps are not accurate. Oh well. Hanok says I heard after midnight it should be fixed. Who do you hear that from? And midnight when for your time zone? How long is that for you? Yeah, the game's broken, nuclear labor, the servers are down. But yeah, it's cool that you can bring slammers on this thing. Otherwise, you can use it to bring 1,000-pound bombs. If you want that. Difference between the Jasm and the Slammer? The Jasm is better, I believe. We can compare them. Harm versus Slammer. Sorry, not Harm, sorry. Jasm versus Slammer. Same range. The Jasm can be laser designated if anyone cares about that. Damage is 60 versus 40. Blast radius is 90 versus 70. Dispersion, it's more accurate. The Jasm as well on its own doesn't disperse as far. Higher penetration, it does cost more. So that's the differences. Possibly says, right, regarding server issues right now, the load balancer is not working right, and it's not booting up new game servers to host new games. Dev tried working on it, but had to go to sleep and sort of that tomorrow. They've been on a few all-nighters at this point. Okay, then I think there might not be any more. That's okay, I'll just continue. I'm probably going to build this USMC deck, and then I'll call it a day, I guess. And then once the servers are fixed, you'll see me back on again. Unless I'm asleep. But we've been having a fun little roundup of all the marine stuff, at least. And I will say this, it is cope to an extent, but the 2 matches I got to have today, I enjoyed the fuck out of. They were actually really good matches. So we should give up tonight, says Hanek. It seems that way, yes. I'm not baiting on getting into a match anymore then, I'm just doing my deck. But yeah, what else can you do with the D? 1,000-pound bombs just do not excite me as much. You could do fire bombs if you wanted that. You got cluster bombs. You can do Mavericks. The F-18D can bring a bunch of ATGMs. I don't know if they've made these easier to use than last time. Banny says, that's why queuing for 1 hour works. You just hope the game decides to let you in. Oh, so there's still, like, servers running? We just have to get into them? Interesting. Maybe we will then. Dadine says, also, like your idea of deploying 360-point kill teams, this game reminds me a lot of Warno about the many, many problems that game has. Yeah, and it's funny because Warno has the platoon system, right, for deck building. Which is kind of what I ended up doing here with, for those of you who weren't here for that, with the motherfucking this thing that I've used as my cheat sheet. Which I'll make a command for that if people are interested for tomorrow. AGM Maverick slaps his Cryptini. Yeah. They can't be intercepted by APS, which is a really cool thing. It's like the only ATGM that can't be intercepted by APS is jet ATGMs. I haven't had good success using them before, but if they don't need strafing runs anymore to work, I could see them being useful. I feel like they changed that so that you don't need a strafing run anymore for them. And if that's the case, I could see these with high micro being really good for taking out tanks. Benny says 180-point Maverick Harrier slap through its cost. Whew, that is really cheap for Mavs. Impossibly says Maverick's easy to use, yes and no. They no longer self-auto aim unless on a strafe order, except when lasing to target, the Maverick will auto-target, usually at low altitude. Interesting. That's very interesting. I mean, strafing order isn't too bad, I guess, if you know how to use it. Being forced into it isn't great. But if I have enough fuel, it's not the end of the world. I kind of want to try it. My story says, are you a semi-automatic command line of sight? I don't know what you mean. Yeah, it used to be extremely expensive, now they're a cheap option. Because it's hard to use. I could use one of those in my deck then, perhaps. Let me bring up, like, if you bring a bunch. That's the thing, is you can't get them plus fuel. And that makes me like it a lot. 120? That is nothing. 120 fuel is nothing. Oh, man. On Afterburner, you're not even going to get to the fucking target. And considering you need to stay evasive of Mavericks, that is not good. So you wouldn't run 4. I guess you don't need as many Mavericks. Because, like, they're not going to get intercepted, so they will hit. Is it top attack? No. If it was top attack, that would one-shot. Benny says, that's why the Harrier's nice. Don't care that it's slow. Yeah, I guess. But it's definitely going to die. Impossibly Profane says, keep in mind you can just add a laser pod on the 18D and solve the strafe problem saving the Harrier. Oh, true, you can self-laze. That's such a kooky idea. I like that. That's actually a good idea. I guess if this was heavily microed, you could afterburn it to this site, or just fly it where afterburner's up to the area, hit the burners to do a flyover with lays. I guess, but man, it would be really heavy on the micro. I feel like you would die to AA really hard. Whereas, if we do the Harriers, we can also self-laze. The Mavericks are almost the same price. And to be quite frank, we don't really care if it dies as much, because it's 205. And if you kill 2 tanks, that is a good trade. Yeah, loss still applies. Yeah. Thanks, Dean. Yeah, I'll try to do some YouTube content, definitely. I might even when I in stream do a video, might download my VODs. But yeah, if you get rid of the destination pod, you can do a strafing run and have it for 180, which is really good. This is the value of the Harriers. They can't afterburn, but they have really cheap options. Substitute on the Harrier. Yeah, you can do that too. Wait, can you? You can do sidearms. That's kind of funny. I mean, it's got 5,000. How cheap can you get? Yeah. I think the Prowler is better at that job. But cute that you can do it. Yeah, 205 for 4 Mavericks doesn't seem bad. That's like 2 dead tanks. Is this remote music? It's P music, yeah. It possibly says, alternative is to stay low, pop up upon getting within 3km to 4km, lazing and diving right after. The dive will aim to play right at the target. HD of afterburner since timing of afterburner is tight. Interesting. Interesting. It sounds very micro-intensive, but it sounds cool. I should try it sometime. What else you got? You got the Night Attack, which could also do Mavericks. Okay. Is it cheaper? It is, but no Desi. Benny says, also jets that are flying low will automatically pop up when starting the strafing run now. Has anyone had any success using the rocket pods in strafing runs? I guess you could be cheap as shit, right? Like, you're gonna lose the Harrier. You are gonna lose the Harrier doing this in a contested airspace at all. But 150 points to delete an infantry squad. I mean... It's like almost a good trade. It isn't. 75 cost. You're spending double. It's not a good trade points-wise, but it could be a good trade in terms of, like, you need it done now. S-25 rockets on Russian and elite tanks? Really? Oh. For cheapness options, it's something to consider. There's firebombs too. I haven't tried cluster of firebombs much yet. Anyway, the point is the Harriers bring like cheap shit. And I think I looked at everything now. That's that, man. Well, I think I should build the deck now. What do you guys think? Let's actually do it. Let's just remove everything, I think. And start again. Except we know we're keeping those. We know we're keeping this. You can get rid of this, potentially. I think I'd rather have half the rockets but have the sidewinders. I guess you can have options. You can have both. Because, I mean, that many Hydra rockets deletes shit on Kaz. Which deck does Beagle think is best for a beginner? Armored? Probably, yeah. I would play something closer to what I'm playing in the exclamation mark deck command because the units are easier to learn, I think, and they're cheaper. I would say we're going to go up like a difficulty level, like +1 difficulty star for USMC plus airborne because our unit's going to be more expensive. Oh, it's multiple runs as Des. That's not so good. Also, I gotta change the music. I've been listening to P music for too long. And it's starting to give me the shits. If I'm gonna build this deck, I need new sounds. No, not that. As good as the Red Alert 2 soundtrack is, not yet. Not today. Sure. Yeah, this'll do, sure. General soundtrack. I've been meaning to use that in game. Broken Arrow is gonna be broken for a while, Wacky. When was their announcement on they went to sleep? Assuming I'm not saying they have to do this, but let's cope and say that as soon as they wake back up, they're back to work, right? Which isn't how it works. But let's say it is. When was their announcement? Fucking fetid gamers going like, it's been 6 hours, get up and fix the servers. It was at 11:24 a.m. So that was 12, 1, 2. So that was only 3 hours ago. So we're still looking at probably till my time tonight. Because right now it's 2:43 p.m. for me. So I might get to play a little tonight if they super fix it. But more likely I'm not going to play until my tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Don't bother until 12 hours from their comment. Exactly. Yeah. And that would be fast. Because that means as soon as they're back to work, they all go, oh, we fixed it. Which is very unlikely. I remember the previous betas, and more realistic is that it could not... It will probably slowly get better day by day over the next 2 or 3 days. And it probably won't be fully fixed for, like... I'd say max a week, minimum a day to 3 days. It's okay, I'll edit up the... I'll take the 2 rounds that I played today on VOD and I'll edit them. And then I'll just, after those 2 rounds, I'll just release like a whole fucking bunch of TED Talk videos of like, here's my deck and why it's the best deck in the game. Wow, the element system, should you be using it? It's battle proven against people who've had the game for 1 hour. It's so good. Just delete it all. Go back to the start. Back to the start. Back to the start. Yeah, that'd be cheating, Boofus. I wouldn't do that. Alright. So my strengths right now are... strong recon in this combo. So max that out. Too much already. Okay. I want one of these too, so that's going to add to things. Oh, you could bring one of a GL. That'd be kind of cute for infantry. What's the range? Okay, yeah. Maybe I'll change that in my other deck too. I'll make it a GL there as well. Then you got a bit of everything. That's cool. My Humvee pack really is gonna fuck. Smoke pods! Yeah! For forest work. Okay, that's fine. And we need to cut something already. What do I want less of? Oh, if I go Black Ops, it cuts a bit off. Not a ton. I still need to cut 45 off. I also get no lavs this way, so I'm probably going to end up cutting this more. Being realistic, I don't need as many snipers. That's a pretty easy place to cut from. I want to decide first, though. Do I want Forcon Green Ops or Black Ops? What does a Black Ops Forcon do to the Green Ops? No, what does a Green Ops do to the Black Ops con? It's really about the AT4s. I have to think of what I'm actually going to use these for. Actual Crown says, glad I'm showing up now. I've been building a deck while trying to get a match, so I'm trying to figure out the best recon setup in the deck. For what combo? If you want some more to look at, you can type !deck. I've got a screenshot of my other deck that's finished that I've been playing of that I really like. Boofus says, Green Ops seems like standoff where Black Ops is more for pushing buildings. Yes, that's on the surface. But the way to think of this more, I think, is thinking of forests as a fog dimension. So these guys I'm not going to call in except for a forest, I think. That's going to be their role. They're going to be forest recon. It's important to have options for forest, plains, and urban, I believe. Which VDV specialist you prefer? Bounty Rabbit. Do you know Bounty Giver? I don't play Russian, sorry. I prefer them all dead. So in buildings, I'd rather have, I think, the snipers for lasing, or I'd rather not even take recon. In buildings, I'd rather just take normal infantry, and I recon by fire. I believe that recon by fire is generally more realistic in urban settings, because the way buildings and sightlines work, you will move up your really cool stealth sniper unit, or Forcon or whatever, and you will just run in, like, face first into something that, like, sees you because you're too close now, because of the way buildings work. So I don't value the stuff as much there. It is still useful, don't get me wrong, like, you can still do really sneaky shit in towns with snipers, but I think it takes longer. I think it takes a bit too long, because you have to be a bit careful. A forest, I really like stealth and optics for, because
This is my theory on how forest fighting works now. I haven't tested it much yet, but I believe in it. Is a forest is this really reliable place where it's all about the math. Because the way Forest Lost works, as far as I understand it, is the forest shrinks your line of sight down to like this little circle around you, and you're in the middle of a circle. So it just makes it very small. And because there's no like sudden line of sight breaking of like buildings and shit, you're not gonna like suddenly move one block up too far and be like, oh shit, a tank! Like that's not gonna really happen as much. So instead, my theory is it all comes down to whoever has the better optics and the stealth combination multiplier versus each other will 100% of the time see the other person first if they're not moving towards you, right? Well, either way, you'll see them first still. So that, I think, makes... That's why I actually wanted to take things like the recon tank in the armor deck now, because now I get it, like, okay, even though that tank only has 1.25 stealth, which doesn't seem like a lot on its own, and in other situations it isn't, that's all the difference in a forest. Because if you have a tank with 2,000 optics... well, let's do it the actual... Let's say they have a tank with 1,400 optics and 1 stealth, and I have a tank with 2,000 optics and 1.25 stealth. I'm going to see their tank first 100% of the time. Every time, I will see their tank first. And in many cases, because of the optics all adding to the same number of the trade basically there, that recon tank will actually see infantry first. Won't see recon first because they have stealth and optics, but I think mathematically... I mean, you could do the math. I don't know how to do the math. But you're basically doing... Standard infantry has what? A standard marine has 1,200 optics and 1.75 stealth. If the Tua Abrams has 2,000 optics and 1.25 stealth, who's seeing who first, right? I feel like it's the Tua tank because of the optics. I might be wrong. It's a very important point. How do you quantify the stealth? So the modifier of the stealth bounty, it's like a multiplier on how... It lowers the optics range of things looking at you. So if you have 1,200 optics and you're looking at something with 2 stealth, that halves your optics, now you're at 600 optics against it. No, I think they are Des. I think they are. I definitely think they are. Anyway, I think I ignored someone's question too. Yeah, actual Kron. You're talking about the deck. You're trying to surround it around a nuclear build. One mashup I do for Con. Oh yeah, it was with Raiders. Mixing Black up with AT Raiders the other way around, then you have a unit pair above 18 or CQBC capability. That's smart, Profane. Doing one or the other, I like that. Usually Falcon Black Ops and AT Raiders, since 650 meter range Call G and 600 meter versus infantry. Black Ops leads ahead and clears longer, better recon. Yeah, that makes sense. I was gonna run Forcon Black Ops and Door Kickers Raiders, but you're making a good point for them working together in a forest. I like that. Though, is the longer range of the Call G and the standoff weapons worth it in a forest? Can they even fight up to 600 meters away? That's why I was thinking just going Raiders, Door Kicker Raiders as well in a forest, so that they can just melt any infantry they meet. Impossibly says, the tank will see the Marines at 1150 meters-ish. Marines will see the tank at 950 meters exactly. 960 meters exactly, sorry. See, and that's the value, right? Is until I thought of it in terms of the forest, I would not have thought that the Tua, even the recon tank, would see the Marines first, right? But when you look at it in that way, because it's consistency, in an urban environment or in any other environment but inside a forest, you've got changes in elevation, line of sight breakers like forests and buildings that are in between you and the target. You can come around a corner metaphorically and suddenly be surprised. Whereas in a forest, there's nothing but the fog. And whoever sees who in the fog first wins. There is elevation changes too, but anyway. So that made me go, why would I ever pay 310 for this recon tank? Took me from there to, holy shit, this thing is going to be a monster, I just realized. Impossibly says no, but edge peeking a forest means this 650 meter range can help better with clearing gaps in wood lines, where 400 meter 84 lacks some clearance. Yeah, definitely. 19 in battle, we're so cooked. You watch, when it gets to 0, I'm going to get in the match. Also, this thing is cool as fuck, so I always wanted to use it. But yeah, like, it kind of made me realize, hey, this thing could be a fucking forest monster. I mean, fuck, what if I brought 2 of them? No, you don't need 2 of them. You could just bring 1 with a buddy. But pretty fucking cool, actually. And now I see why it's worth paying the extra 50 or 100, whatever it is, for the thermal cloak and the camo netting. What is paint jobs? Oh, and that's what you're really paying for. The cosmetics. Oh, I can do Australian. I can pretend I've got an Australian tank. Why so many Humvees? Humvee pack. I'll show you the genius, the madness. Here it is. This is my plan. I've still yet to test it in battle, but I think it can work. Though I might be upgrading these to dual pods now, so it might change how many others I bring. I believe in the Humvee kill pack, and so should you. The recon ones? Oh yeah, I just had, wait, hang on, I see what you mean. Those are just for filling up my recon points and just sending out to hold flanks. So I just send these cheap units in, previously I used the IFABs, I just send them out to be like, yo, our flank is wide open, send like a trapdoor trigger unit, and then I'll know if someone pushes through that forest or across those plains. Mercer says, kinda reminds me of ancient cavalry chargers with massive mobile hitters. That's the idea, yeah, kinda, like... The place I want to use the Humvee kill pack is wide open, like, plains, or, like, wide open spaces with a lot of room between the forests. But that's also why I want to bring the Recon Humvee, because for all the reasons we just discussed, 2400 optics, 1.25 stealth, you're gonna spot a lot of bullshit in forests quicker before it spots you, so it can lead the Humvee pack through the forest safely. Yeah, exactly, Canary Recon, exactly. These are just Canary Recon. Oh, my air gone. Oh, okay, whatever. Anyway, back to Recon. I think I'll have to try out both. But I think Black Ops Recon is just going to be better. Someone really pointed out, too, that you can use these as cheap raiders. Because the laws are going to hit... The laws are going to hit infantry. I mean, hell, for cost, how does 120 of Forcon stack up to a raiders? Door kickers. Let's check. You're gonna get 12 soldiers. 12 soldiers. 8 same. Way more laws. Well, more laws are gonna be fired at once, actually. No, that's 8. 4 shotguns. I mean, you're paying 120 for 2 Forcon, and you're still getting 2 less guys. And you're not getting automatic grenade launchers. You're getting more stealth. But at the point where you go for 2 of them, it's not really as worth, I think. You'd rather have 1 Marine Raiders CQC for that job. Forcon are, like, you can bring them in 60, though. You don't want to bring 100 of them. You want to bring 60 points of them. But they don't replace Marine Raiders. They're not a substitute for Marine Raiders in that sense. But they can be a half-strength, cheaper version of them, which is cool. Like, I imagine with this loadout, if you run into anything that isn't a frontline infantry squad, you're going to melt it. In fact, I would imagine, as long as you get first shot, like in a forest, I imagine Forcon will handily beat, with the laws, if they go off first, will handily beat any squad that is their size or lower if they get first shot. And they will get first shot because stealth and optics. That said, what are you using Marine Raiders for then? Maybe standoff is worth it on them then. I mean, it's a really elite unit for woods clearing. I've always thought of these guys as town clearers. But I do like the idea of them as a really elite woods clearer. But they only get 1 Moors. If they got 2, it'd be a no-brainer. But 5 to 6 seconds between reloads, that's a long time. That's a long time. Just give me 1 more Moors. Please, can I have a second Moors? Because then you go, fuck it, don't even bring Marine Raiders. At that point, why not just bring S'mores? And then for this, okay, not the same price, but for a similar price, you can have 4 S'mores. And sadly, that's probably going to do better. That is probably going to do better. It shouldn't, but it probably will. And that makes me think... Well, I mean, then maybe that's the point, yeah. But I was going to say, maybe that's the point that Marine Raiders are with the Sea Gustav then. But then... No, the S'mores can also kill tanks better because they have 2 launchers. If you're in machine guns just providing cover, no, yeah, I just don't really value the rifle weapons as much because they don't tend to decide to fight as much. But what I mean is, the assaultmen small are gonna do probably nearly as well in a forest versus enemy infantry, and they'll do better against tanks, right? Which makes me think I should bring Marine Raiders in CQC and lean into a 100 cost unit that can kill any infantry it runs into. Until they nerf s'mores. Well, nerf s'mores against infantry. I do like that s'mores are good now, though, because they were shit against tanks before. I like that they buffed them against tanks. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, that's probably the way. Is 100 cost raiders, go into buildings in towns still that way, go into forests, and just, you will win a one-on-one infantry fight. You will win it. As long as you shoot first, I guess. You will actually lose it if you don't shoot first. But you will win. Hopefully. I don't know. He doesn't sound confident, actually. Obviously, you can do Marine Raiders standoff shit outside of forests, but for that, I would rather use weapons teams. Someone asked before, what do I think of Kiowa stealth, by the way. I don't really value stealth as much outside of forests. For the reasons I was saying. I definitely don't value Hilo stealth as much. Which is funny because I think it actually is good. Hilo stealth can be quite good for... Like, Blackhawks tend to survive a lot better than other units. They tend to not get spotted and get airstriked as much. So to be fair, I'm kind of dead wrong there. The stealth is valuable, we'll put it that way, I guess. Let's just say the stealth is valuable. But I don't use it that much for that reason, I just use the Kiowas for stinging. Benny says, Raiders can win 2v1s. My airborne learned that the hard way when a Raider squad pop out of forest into the building next to them. Oh, like the Raiders 1v2'd them? That's sick. See, that's what it's all about, because that's cost effective. Marine Raiders 120, not cost effective for what they're doing. Marine Raiders at 100, that's cost effective to me. Taking out two 75-point airbornes, microed right, that's a come up. That's 100 versus 150. I like that. So they probably have a value there. Even if I only bring one squad of them, I'd say that's value. Was it close, Benny? Like, how many Raiders were left? And did the Raiders get into your building, or they were just like Raiders CQB in the building next to you and just like sprayed you with the shotguns and the AGLs? I don't actually get the point of going in the building of them sometimes. Like, does that mean the AGLs turn off? Can you use the grenade launchers inside the same building? Do you do more damage inside the same building? Like, how does that work? The AGLs have a minimum range. Bullshit, I can use that inside an apartment building, just watch me. The laws also have a minimum range, so you're losing the laws and the AGLs if you go in the min range. They kill infantry twice as fast as raiders, says banning the swirls are underrated. Yeah, it's stupid. I hate it. I hate it. That should be... like, anyone should be able to look at that and go, that's wrong. Benny says, no, they were in the apartment across, like, one building width away. The raiders were, like, half health, but I also had Brad shooting them near the end of the fight. That's a pretty good trade, by the sound of it. That sounds like they could run off, resupply, and go do it again. I like that. I'm gonna be honest, I also just want to use Marine Raiders because I'm a fucking slut for tactical bullshit. I mean, come on. Come on. I want to use this unit. It's the fantasy. Of course I want to use this unit. I want Rangers, I want SOCOM, I want Delta Force. Cowa duty. Impossibly says, no, AGLs cannot fire inside, but going into a building forces units into CQC, stopping weapons teams from firing externally like Menace and Cat teams. Oh, so it's like D&D, like, you can't fire long-range weapons when you're in melee, basically. Anything else you could tell me about CQC, Impossibly? Like, is there a damage bonus or anything? Or is it basically you've weighed up that, like, you losing your long-range weapons is better for you compared to them losing theirs? Like, you would definitely do it against, like, an HMG, for instance, right? And also, I guess, against... I guess there's a way that Raiders will outperform HE teams is if you can get into the building with an HE team in it. Or sit on top of them in a woods. So I guess when you fight HE rocket teams, you want to sprint onto them. Or into their building. And that way you can turn off their rockets, I guess. Because it's min-ranged, right? Yeah, effective range 20 to 400. So I guess you want to sprint directly onto them. And then just, like, knife fight them. But sprinting turns your weapons off, so it's a trade-off. You don't shoot while sprinting, but it's better than getting hit with... Like, you'll just obliterate the small that way. I guess that's any unit, then, that fights HE that isn't HE. Like, I guess Airborne's Marine. Anytime I meet Assaultman Small, I should be sprinting onto them. Or, like, any unit like that. Interesting. Very interesting. Tamlin says, combat Marine Raiders of a Laval ambulance push through urban areas. Yeah, something you can do. Impossibly says, when in CQC, you surpass cover bonus units received from being in buildings, so faster TTKs, and for weapons like shotguns with a 15mm pen, you basically dome units, since firing at 200 meters means the shotgun pen's only at 5mm, which most usually have 5 to Elmer. Oh, I didn't even... This is getting big-brained. I didn't even think about the kinetic penetration of a shotgun versus body armor. I also forget how the armor works. You just have to get past it, right? Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so the shotguns 4 to 12 kinetic. So 12 is your max. 12 is if you're at point blank. Here's another question for you. They said that suppressed weapons do more damage at close range now, but did they just mean that they lowered the ranges on suppressed weapons but gave them more damage? Because it's 2.75, right? So does that mean this goes up more the closer I get with suppressed weapons, or did they just mean that they lowered the range on suppressed weapons? Because what they said was suppressed weapons do more damage at close range, but I think they just meant they upped the numbers. All infantry damage received count as explosive. Mine is reflected in the stats, yes. Suppressed weapons, it's all in the stats, there's no hidden bonuses. Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just that the way they worded it wasn't that. Okay, then, yeah. So Marine Raiders are gonna absolutely want to get inside a building of people, I guess. I mean, that's still good in close quarters. But it's not as shred you, is it? I'm just looking because it's funny, because then less weapons are turned off in close quarters that way. But the shotguns are also going to wreck. So you're still probably better getting indoors just because of the shotguns. Does the MGL do legitimate suppression like an AGL should? Because if so, I guess what you do is you get in the building next to them, you lawn MGL them for a salvo to suppress them. If this suppresses like a... Why is suppression not a stat? Do I have to look this up on your website? Yeah, they definitely do, Corberdini. Yeah, absolutely. Their main guns are so good. I guess you want to suppress the grenade launchers and the laws for like about 5 seconds, and then rush across the street and get in the building and fuck them up. I guess you want to do that even if you're next to them, because that way... Because these weapons won't suppress as much. So you want to go into the building next to them, even if you're going to go in, unless it's an HT team, in which case you want to get in their building ASAP, or on them ASAP, before they fuck you up. Especially as an identified stat. I'm still processing the data, but if I have something for it, I'll let you know. Thank you. I love numbers like this. As you can probably hear and see, having numbers like this is hugely useful to me. I love these numbers. I like to really get into the nitty-gritty of deck building. As you can see, because I spent like 20 minutes talking about all these different things to be like, so how many recon should I bring? I'm going to fine-tune this through play, but I less snipers and 4-con stay Black Ops, I think. Although, remember the point was, pair them with Marine Raiders. I'm now doing Marine Raiders as door kickers, which means 4-con might be better off being Green Ops. Because now I need a unit that can walk through forests, get first shot opportunity, and kill vehicles if I run into them. 4-con is that unit. Though, let's be real here now. Airborne is the same price now. Let's get real there. Compare them to Airborne. You're paying the same price. You're getting less men. Worse guns. Actually, the AR is better. Huh, fancy that. Worse penetration, though, so it's worse. Worse guns. And the same AT4s. So I feel like if you want to do that, you should just bring airborne. The only thing is you can't guarantee first shot against recon vehicles. But against non-recon vehicles, you will see them first. You'll see other infantry at the same time. So, maybe the way to go is a 4-con and an airborne following. Or 4-con and airborne following in general. Send 4-con in with the cheap build, which I like anyway because then they're just cheaper. And now 4-con is what we were saying before, which is their baby raiders. They're cheap raiders. They've got high stealth, so they will see the enemy first, unlike raiders in the woods. So raiders for towns, 4-con for woods. 4-con can do baby raider shit. They run into enemy infantry, they fuck them up, they run away, or they spot a vehicle, they go backwards, or they sit there if the vehicle's not moving, you bring the airborne in. Milewise says, Green Ops are as good at spotting as your snipers. Oh, yeah. But the difference is, snipers have more stealth. So that's why I often bring snipers for that, like, ultimate in stealth. And I do like the cheapness on 4-con here. Cheapness is everything. 4-con and just cycle them and constantly have 4-con on the front line at that price. Very doable. And like I said, price point wise, I just can't. If I didn't have airborne, maybe it's different. If I didn't have airborne, I'd take green ops. But with airborne here for 75. I mean, but the thing is, you don't need 2 units that way. Because you could just bring 1 unit instead of 2, but that's not how I work. I guess instead of 4-con and 2 airborne, you could just bring 3 4-con. But that still sounds like it's fine, because then you have the baby raiders. I like Black Ops, let's do it. Guild Defense says, do you lose the infantry forever if they die? Nope. In this game, the units come back after a respawn period, and the respawn period is based on how expensive the unit is. Not sure where they put this radar sound, I don't know. Not sure why they put the Mario Kart soundtrack in the game either. Which snipers do we like more? Cheaper is better, I think. Also, I think I want lavs. I might even cut army snipers out a lot. Though that one time they did live for being that much more. You can turn the radar noise off in UI audio settings? Oh, cool. I can save all you guys. Is it this? No, I don't get clickies though. It's fine because when 3 people leave, I'm going to get a match. Oh, he says, how do casualties in the unit work? Do they lose specific models and reduce their capability based on what the models kit? Yes. But typically, the most important weapons will stay up the longest. I believe. It's like Dawn of War 2. Anyway, we get to something interesting now here where I want lavs. I think lav spam can be really good. They're quite cheap for what they provide. And again, with the better than average optics and the stealth, they won't see enemy infantry first, but they will see enemy vehicles first. 1700. See, what I want in Possibly Profane, if you're taking ideas for your website, is the stealth calculator. I want to make 2 units battle, like compare 2 units, stealth and optics, in like a see who's first in a situation for woods fighting. I want to go, okay, Lav A2 modernized versus Marine rate, or, you know, Marines or whatever. You know, who sees who first? Like, what ranges do we see each other at? That would be really interesting. Do the math for me, because I'm bad at doing the math. Because that makes me think, okay, maybe modernization is worth it. Because now you can get... it's probably still not worth it. It's so fucking expensive. Do you think this game is going to overtake Warno? I think it already has. It possibly says, I have a dude working on calculations that we can make some simple ones soon since the OBT isn't working right now. Yeah, you've got less time to play. Yeah, I think the lab is better cheaper, Corpadini. Probably just, like, disposable enough to move with you through the forest. It's just a transport that's, like, more damaging than a Humvee. And a little bit healthier. But not much more armored. That smoke comes in clutch. Oh yeah, if you're, like, focusing on them for sure. Yeah, the smoke is nice for getting in the way. I just think it's 20 cost nice. I think if it was 10, I'd do it. I consider it at 65, but probably not. At 10, I would do it. But at 20, it's just too much. The base unit is not 70 useful with all this shit added onto it. But for 10, I'd probably do it. This says 100 speed, 8-man transport is good even without a gun. Oh yeah. Yeah, fucking ISVs are fantastic. I love them. They're really good. And if this transported 8 as well, that'd be sick, but it's only 6. I like how all them busted these things are. Anyway, I don't know how many labs I want yet. Honestly, I'll probably end up ending the stream earlier and doing this in my own time a bit, because I feel self-conscious doing deck building and I think less. I'm not as smart. Does Global Hook get me by AA? Yes, it does. It possibly says, within squads, each member is allocated weapons. As they die, those weapons disappear. There is a priority, is usually with least important weapons, and then more important, or whatever is the centerpiece weapon of the squad, less prioritized. Unless there is 2, then usually you lose 1 at 50% manpower. Ah, that's smart. 1 javelin went down to 4 men in the airborne weapons squad. Ah, okay, yeah. God, airborne looks pretty cool too. It possibly says, regarding suppressed weaponry, just some initial understanding, noise. All weapons make noise, which reduce stealth over time, longer units fire. Which reduce stealth over time, longer units fire. Units, when they detect, get an added lock-on, reduce stealth against noisy unit to see them better until they stop shooting. Yeah, that's why you have to, like, break loss with snipers and recon when you've been spotted too, I find. No, it's incredibly useful and possibly. I love to hear this shit. Suppressed weaponry produce less noise, leading to longer firing time before exposing themselves to their target when at the edge of the detection range. I would love to know how much the suppressed weapons help, but I have seen in practice it helps. Alright. Units. Are the servers broken? Yeah. Completely broken. There are no more matches. I want HMG teams. I want tow teams. I want AGL teams. I want stinger teams. I'm not gonna have enough slots. Fuck. I'm already out of slots. Because I'm gonna want Marine Raiders, Marines, and Airborne. So I'm gonna have to not have Marines, I think, because I also usually want a weapons squad. Ah, I don't get Cat Dragon either. Ah! There's just not enough slots! Maybe I'll cut out the HMG teams. AGL teams are really good. HMG teams are, like, also good, but they're kind of more jack-of-all-trades. I like them because they provide an endemic option to kill helicopters, which is great in forests. But I guess I could look at it like, I could bring a Cat Dragon instead. Some choices will be made there. I'll probably drop the HMG teams just for more slots. Because I know I want Airborne. Airborne is an incredibly well-priced unit for what it does. Bounty says, I really can't believe... not Bounty, I gotta say which Bounty now. Bounty Rabbit says, I really can't believe the devs have no updates for us. Kind of ridiculous. Well, think of it from, you know, from their perspective. I mean, they've been pulling all ladders already. They've got to sleep sometime, you know. Like, I'm sure they tried their hardest, but if they can't find the issue, at some point they've got to call it and come back tomorrow. You know, we can... It is a game. I think we can afford them that kind of patience. At least, especially when it's an unpaid beta. Yeah, I agree, just let us know, lol. Well, they did an announcement. They're asleep right now, but they did, their last announcement is them letting everyone know they're going to sleep and they'll try to hit it again in the morning. So you didn't see that announcement, that's all good. Nah, you're good. Yeah, if they hadn't said anything, you'd be like, oh my god, what's happening? Oh, I did take the cat toe. I took the wrong one. I don't want cat toe. I think... just not good enough at the job that you're mainly bringing it for with... I'd rather bring Cat Dragons. They're AGL though! Oh, but no, Cat Dragon instead. But that means I need real tow teams. I think Cat Dragon's gonna be a fit for this deck. Oh no, fuck, s'mores!
That's it, then you're full, because then you want raiders. Too many options! I didn't think of this. Give us more options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's 7 all the time. I need more slots! Well, you definitely have to drop the HMG teams, I think. AGL, Tow, Stinger, Airborne Assaultmen, Small Marine Raiders. What else would you fit in? Cat Dragon. I mean, it's a win-win, because either I find out I like the Cat Dragon and I keep it, or I find out I don't like it anymore and I don't keep it, and then I have room for something else. Would I ever use normal Marines? They're just a bit too expensive. Maybe for 85. I mean, they are really good. They shouldn't come down in price. They do really good at what they do. They are bullies. They will beat most infantry and they still retain AT. That has value. You have to get into Javs? No, hell no. Because when you go to Jav, you lose one of the launchers. And with how prevalent APS systems are, having 2 launchers is more valuable to me. If it was 2 javelins, like maybe. Am I really missing out on anything here? Let's see now. Airborne. Nah, servers ain't working, sorry Elazor. You're in the waiting room. S'mores. Cat Dragon. No Cat Tow. No HMG team in this build. Raiders, AGLs, Stingers, and Tows. Really the only other thing I'd like to put in is Weapon Squad. But I think Cat Dragon just does that job cheaper. And also brings a Browning. So they're actually quite good against other infantry too. Javelin is like your top of the line. These things will kill tanks. With their top attack, fucking 750 pen. They also fire and forget, unlike the fucking insanely wire-guided Cat Dragon. But that's the thing I had to learn about deck building is... You don't have to make everything in your deck capable of killing an Armada or a top-of-the-line MBT. Like, you can have other options for that. I don't love that I have no option in my infantry tab that can do it. And you could make an argument, I think, for dropping Cat Dragon for Weapon Squad for that reason. But, yeah, they need to fix that, Benny. Or maybe you could, like, drop the Assaultmen Small the Marine Raiders because they're doing a similar job. You could also drop the AGLs, but I don't really want to do that. I think the AGL teams are really cost-effective. Second Planet says, hi there, first time chatter, just curious how many games you've been able to get into today's stream. Just 2. We're mainly just doing loadouts today. They were 2 good games, but then the servers died. Copidini says, I would choose him for the fire and forget capability. Yeah, unfortunately it's broken right now, but when the javelins get fire and forget, I would agree. They're definitely useful. Banny says, the javelins crush into the ground if they have ECM, which a lot of Russian tanks have. Keymark says, I think the longbows will make up for it, but I get what you mean. Yeah. That's why I'm taking the Cat Dragons here. But, I mean, it is true that for only 30 points more, you can get dual javelins. But I don't know, I think... I want to try the Cat Dragons. I think they're going to surprise me. I think I'm going to like them a lot. Imagine if the Cat Dragons got the AGL. That'd be so fucked up. That'd be so fucked up. Oh, no, I haven't, impossibly. I didn't realize Smoke did that to them, but that makes sense. So, ignore what I just said about javelins being broken. Oh, but Benny says he has seen that. I don't know. Maybe they're broken, maybe they're not. Impossibly says they're not broken, so don't know. Alright, I like my choices there. Vehicles, like I said, I know I want one of these, and I know I want to try these now with the modernization. Now that I know it's Ripple Fire. Hopefully. No to the armor package, though. It's too expensive. Beacon armor, definitely. Maybe I will cut the Globe Master out. I don't even know what I'm airdropping at this point. I guess for the... I guess it's good for airdropping the lots of supply trucks, or Lavels, or airdropping the Thunderbolts. We'll see. I wonder where I'll put the labs. Maybe they can go with the Humvee pack. Hell, I mean, yeah, you could have an even stronger Humvee pack. Interesting. Is it better to have 2 Humvee tows or 1 Lav ATM that fires twice then, though? I mean, 2 Humvee tows because you're soaking more shots. Right? No, but this is modernized, they hit the roof. So they kill way faster too, so that's why it's worth. And then I'm probably gonna want... Where's the one that's really good value? It was this one. Because this one can get 30% jamming and Tusk at 235. That's value. I don't think I want an APS tank at all in this deck. Too expensive. Though the FEP does have the HE rounds for building work, that is true. But maybe just go like, can you just go 4 of these? That could be fun. It's probably all you're going to fit in if you want to bring everything else, yeah. Just go HCs. Might be worth trying a FEP purely for urban work, though. We'll see. I know I want to bring some M60s for cost effectiveness. Thunderbolts, I think, are always good as well, so we're going to have to cut down on a lot of this stuff. I'll come back to that later, that's fine. Just kind of drafting things out. I think I'll draft things out, and then I'll probably call it a day on the stream. Slam Ram. Yeah, so draft that. You want a Slam Ram, you want Avengers. Do you want Brutus? I think you just want Hawkeyes. I think I do, I mean. I want the good trucks. Only LMTVs can be airdropped by Globemasters. I want Lavels. Should make an urban version of the deck after. I mean, I could do, but I like playing Generalist. Lav-Ms are really expensive for what they are, I think. 1800 meters range. If this was like 70 or 60, but now that there's a Hawkeye and the WS, I want it much less. The range is so much higher. The damage and the caliber just overall is so much higher. I think the big thing is the aim time, though. Cutting 5 to 6 seconds off the aim time is good, but the relay time is so close. I don't know. Kubidini says Brutus is really good. Yeah, I tried him. And then I tried the Hawkeyes, and I've just been feeling the Hawkeyes more. Impossibly Profane says, ECM can be defeating when munitions with dual seekers fire and forget, blah blah blah. Where Hellfires have laser guidance option, attacking laser guide target nullified ECM. Oh! So that's another reason to laser guide Hellfires, I see. So it won't deal with APS, but it will... Oh, it will get through ACM. I should keep that in mind. Nah, the server's down, sorry, Devil. Yeah, you can Fire Dragon too, but what is the point of Fire Dragon, really? Dragon Fire. Okay, you get to 120mm. Oh, I didn't realize you could pin against itself. That's cool. The range stays low. But you do get the same damage, at least. Yeah, precision-guided munitions, which is fucking... It is useful. It is useful. You do get smoke as well. But you are still working in that closer range. I think that's doable. So there's definitely advantages there with Dragonfire. Precision-guided munitions can be so impactful, honestly. Particularly if I'm going to do forest fighting as well, that could be huge. Like that last match, those snipers were just watching everyone forever, and if I had had PGMs... something to consider. It possibly says it's a good strategy against RU coastal specs since most units like APS but carry ECM. Interesting. Can Laser Hellfire shoot helicopters, says Kurpidini? I don't think so, but it'd be cool if it could. Benny says the Hawkeyes found underwhelming. I've liked them so far, honestly. But definitely if you find them overwhelming, the Brutus is good too. I've liked the Hawkeyes because I can bring one heavy lift helicopter with 3 of them in it. So you can bring a whole battery and a Chinook. And I really like that in the other deck. And they also had the Pallies, the full-length Pallies instead of the Brutus in the other deck. But yeah, you guys are kind of bringing me around. That's a good idea with the Dragonfire precision rounds.
You do get less rounds in general, but I typically keep my artillery near supplies anyway, and the increase in caliber is nice. Yeah, I'll probably try those out. It's not bad. Impulsively says, notice, precision-guided ammunition laser artillery currently has a bug relating to laser-guided rounds that hits not connecting properly, leading to sometimes healing damage at all. Oh, that's too bad. But do it mostly? Okay, yeah. Probably still worth it. I've done it with HIMARS in the old betas, and I know it makes such a difference in damage. Hawkers are really good for the cluster choices, Corpadini. I haven't really tried that much yet. But interesting to hear. I should try them sometime. Anyway, I'm gonna want to try 11M then, I think. Running out of slots, running out of slots. I refuse to use this thing. I know it's busted. I refuse to use it. Fuck it. Fuck that thing. Fuck that thing. Fucking thing. They should let the Lev AD intercept missiles with the gun. That'd be nice. Double missile points really is a choice now for these things. It does make you want to take a Lev AD and say 3 people left in battle. Yes, the last 3. I want to try the rocket pod too, man. That sounds fun. A serum on the same turn as the Patriot would be nice. Oh, it'd be so strong. I think I'll try definitely the Lav ADs instead. In this deck again. I mean, they always did well in the old days. Probably enough that they deserve the A2 armor and smoke. And that's mostly done then. I could maybe fit another truck option. The MTVs ain't bad. I think the LMTVs just carry too few supplies. That's your full lift capacity though. So your infantry are going to take that up, I think. If that's not counted against infantry, that's fine, but yeah, I think you probably want an MTV to have at least some supplies. Or you bring the Avengers as well. With the Lav Ls here as well, probably just bring the MTVRs and then bring Avengers as well. And then Kiowa's, hell yeah. Gabe says, it will be working in a little more time? Unfortunately, no, my friends. We're probably half a day at most. I mean, at least away from it working. Maybe a day away is more realistic. Yeah, Sapphire, I know, the game's so fun, I know. I'll be playing it again as soon as it's back. Blackhawks still have a purpose, I think, but... what is that purpose? It's an 80 cost transport that can bring an airborne unit and a weapons team, which also means Cat Dragon and a weapons team. You can bring Cat Dragon and a Stinger team. That's good. You can also bring a Small and a Stinger. There's definitely value for that breakpoint. Because I think Venoms are 6, right? No, Venoms are 8, sorry. So Venoms can bring... Venoms also have value, because they can bring, like, just a Cat Dragon on its own or whatever. But a Blackhawk can bring an 8-man squad and a weapon squad with them, which is really cool. They're also good for, like, cheaply lifting a Humvee to the front. I like that. I think the Venoms are more likely to get cut, but I'm going to try to fit them in. Ospreys, based. Love Ospreys. Love them enough to probably have 2 of them. King Stallion, also love it. You could definitely optimize by bringing a Super Stallion for, like, slightly smaller jobs. But I'm probably just going to bring King Stallions. Parma says Black Hawk is probably the play for Rapid Assault. Well, yeah, as people have pointed out, and they're right, the the 1.25 stealth on the Blackhawk does let it get away with some drops. Benny said this, that lets it get away with some drops that you wouldn't expect, which is really cool. Agility. So, unlike planes, lower number worse here. I'm sorry, they have the same agility? How about fuck you? How about that? So does the Viper? Oh, that drop in the first game? Yeah. Oh. That drop felt good in that first game. Like, that's like the drop you want. Like, we had the helicopter gunship covering the drop. Effectively. That felt good. That's why I love that the recon drones are in now, because they allow you to do stuff like that really in a really fun way. Soup says, do you think SEALs will come in with a Navy deck? I think they'll come with SOCOM. I look forward to them. I look forward to them a lot. I just want to play, like, Airborne plus SF or Marines plus SF. That's my dream. I can't wait. Probably Airborne plus SOCOM is gonna be fun. Would Navy be off-map artillery support build though? I don't know how they're gonna do a Navy build. Oh, could sure that I just want to play. How many decks do we have now? We have, I don't know if a Navy deck is coming, because now we have Marines, Armor, Airborne, we think there's going to be Striker, and SOCOM. So if we're lucky, they don't try to split us further down the middle and give us a 6-spec with Navy. If we're lucky, all the Navy shit will go into SOCOM. But how do you justify an F-14 in SOCOM? I don't get that. Give the F-14 back to the Marines, cowards. But why would you use it? Dave Boy says, hi, is single player available right now? No. No, it is not, unfortunately. Benny says, the carrier is on fire support for the SEAL team. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Sure, I guess. Oh, we're SOCOM, we get whatever the fuck we want. So PvE or PvP? Yeah. And you can usually play that, but the servers are dead right now, so you can't. So you gotta come back tomorrow and check it out. Profane says, if I speak regarding the F-14, I'll be in trouble. Secrets. Secrets. Nick, you know worries. I'll be back tomorrow playing it when it's back. We only have 2 slots left now of all these choices, so I'm going to have to cull some. This is what I mean, that the Venom's really going to get culled. Unless I just do one type of Cobra and one type of Apache. The Longbow, I think, is just too good to not bring in your deck. It's just sick. Can't get away from how sick the Longbow is. It's so good at its job. It's so good at its job, I would almost take 2. Because 2 Longbows at once will fucking obliterate a tank push. Longbows, Osprey tier for auto pick for sure. Yeah, it's so good. And then, like, do you build... Which of these do you build? I want these for... I want to bring these for their sidearms, because otherwise I would just bring the normal Apache with... Like, this is the benchmark. I can get 150 point... however many rockets that is, 76 Hydro rockets. For 150 points, that's really good for the survivability of a Kaz gunship. So I'm not going to bring, like, a cheap Viper that does that, unless it also brings sidearms, right? Because if I do that, it's like, what are you doing? That's stupid. It's a worse plane. I mean, it's a worse helicopter. Marinsky says, I wish we could split units loadout. I want to go for Hellfire and a Stinger Cower. Yeah, I know, but I'm glad they're keeping it this way because it makes the deck building interesting. Like, that's why one of the reasons I'm excited for SOCOM is because I know Little Birds are going to be in it. And so then now you get to do that, right? You go Airborne SOCOM, you can have Stinger Kiowas, and you can have Hellfire Little Birds. Probably. Can you imagine that? It's like 720, it's probably going to be like 720 points for 16 Stingers. No. 4, 8, yeah, 16 Stingers and maybe 16 Hellfires. Can you imagine if they let Little Birds have 4 pylons? Like, I've gotten into cost effectiveness and now I'm just drooling over the Little Birds.
I want him so bad. Yeah, I wish they sold it too, Mr. Doggo, I agree. Malwhite says the 30 mil on the Apache also has a bizarrely huge blast radius. Really? I haven't noticed it being that effective, but let me look. Blast radius is... what? 18. What? Why the fuck is it that? What the hell? That's the same as a Hesh round. What the hell? Damn! That thing been eaten! What? Profane says, there's the Comanche to be expected someone down the line. Oh yeah, and if from what is known, it would have 16 stingers given its no conceptual loadouts. You could get a Comanche with 16 stingers in real life? That sounded dumb when I said it in real life, but you know what I mean? Damn! That is going in the deck. Yeah, I know the Comanche's coming. I cannot fucking wait for the Comanche. Also, once we get the Comanche, no one can complain about, like, the Russian Wonder units anymore. Once the Comanche soars through the skies, we've got, like, the #1 US Wonder weapon, apart from the Ontos, which we deserve. Oh, God, please let it have 1.75 stealth. Or 2. Please let it have good stealth. Please let it have good stealth. Please let it have, like, such good ACM. Fucking... what was I gonna say? Can't remember. Some random bullshit, doesn't matter. We're gonna get a B-21 at some point. What's the B-21 again? I think we're gonna get a B-2. Oh, and that's what I was gonna say. F-22. We're gonna get the F-22. It's in the trailers. F-22's gonna be fun! I think the F-22 is gonna be good. B-21 is the new stuff over the smaller than a B-2. Oh! Mr. Douglas's question, why do you only got one squad in each infantry? Because I'm just drafting right now. I haven't actually added how many I want of each. I'm just saying, like, I want all of these in my deck. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through and drafting all the units I want, and then afterwards I'll balance my points going, okay, this is how much of each I want. Steve says, watch the F-22 be a worse F-35. I'd be so mad. I'd be so angry. If the F-22 isn't peak ace combat, I'm gonna have to throw a fit. Anyway, back to helos. You just pay out the fucking ass for these guided rockets, man. It's so hard. Why do you pay so much for them? Do you pay the same on the longbow? I mean, on the Apache? You pay a little bit less. You still pay quite a bit. But see, the Apache gets some for 20, that's why. And because you can go for the Hydras here, whereas the Viper can't take as many normal ones. You think they'll fix matchmaking? I think they'll fix it in the next few days. Yeah, I make so many decks, Mr. Doggo. I've probably sat here for 4 hours just doing the deck building after the matchmaking server stopped. Probably like 3 hours. Yeah, it's really hard to justify spending that much on Hydras. Oh, no, actually, I guess they're pretty cheap. I guess I'm wrong. I guess I'm dumb as fuck. But the Super Cobra can only take that and this. Right, so you'd be taking Sidewinders. Okay, yes. So you're paying, compared to a Kiowa, you're paying almost twice as much to bring half the Sidewinders, but bringing Hydras. I guess that's good. I guess that's valuable. I think it's definitely better than the Viper build will be. Because the Viper build's going to be too expensive. Because the Viper's the one that can't bring good amounts of FFARs. You have to pay out... That's why I was confused. I was talking about this one. You have to pay out the nose for the guided rockets, which are good, but fucking expensive on this ship. Like... 220 to 155 is a massive difference for 200 meters of range and more accuracy. They have different AA missiles. They can both get Sidewinders and sidearms. Oh, you guys are talking about the F-22. Guess the F-18 better than F-16 too. Oh, fuck! Getting cost effectiveness pilled makes me realize why I'm going to want Striker deck too if they get the F-16s. F-16s are going to be sick. F-16s I think are going to be really nice middle ground between cost and ability. Douglas says, have you seen the glitch to where you just at level 115 or elo? No, I haven't. That sounds like a fun shock. Yeah, so I think we want this bad boy. Though I guess, actually, I'm looking at this wrong. This thing gets to bring all the rockets and the Sidewinders. Super Cobra and Venom have different AA. You mean Viper? Viper and Super Cobra? No, they're the same. 2 sidearms, which are not AA, but 2 Sidewinders. Or 2 Sidewinders. So I think they're the same, right? But he says with 4 Kiowas, you might actually be able to laser the guy to rockets. Oh shit! I forgot these things have... No, wait. No, I don't bring the Optronics mast, so that's no good for me. That's a really fucking cool idea, though. If it didn't bump up the cost so damn much, that is a really cool idea to up the accuracy on the guided rockets. I don't know, 220 or 155? See, this was when I was thinking of this as a pretty cheap Kaz option that isn't competing to the isn't competing to the longbow, but just kind of like adds a bit of ground game to the Kiowas. But now I'm thinking the Viper competes with the longbow to bring a lot of rockets. But it's 30 points off a longbow that has Hellfires. I don't know. For only 2 Sidewinders, I think I'd rather have a cheap Apache for that. Which makes me think the winner is, for cost effectiveness, 38 Hydro Rockets and 2 Sidewinders. I think this is the winner. You can bring 2 of these, so you could have a team of basically 2 Super Cobras and 4 Kiowas. Now you've really upped your AA killing power with even more rockets, with even more missiles, and you've got quite a nice amount of Kaz even just with one of them. You can do 38 rockets, that's going to fuck up any infantry squad, fuck up a light vehicle. You're going to wave off, go resupply, come back, do it again. How's the ECM comparison? The Viper has double the ECM, but I'm not putting my faith in that, I think. Compared to just bringing the Apache, which can tank so much hit. Also, cheapness, when in doubt, cheapness better. So I think it's a Super Cobra there. I like the Viper. I think the Viper would be the winner here for me if I could take normal Hydras on it. I don't know why I can't. Not modern enough, I guess. If I could take, like, normal Hydras for, like, 20 for 38. I mean, hang on a second. Hold on. Mirror the build. Okay, now the Viper is better again. Because I was comparing too many rockets there. If I compare the same number of rockets, now it's only paying 10 more to get double the ECM. Now it's worth it. See, because before I was wrong because I was comparing double the pylon slots. Now that we're comparing weapon to weapon, the only thing you're losing is the sick paint job. But we have ways around that now. Don't we? Oh, does the Viper not get to change his paint job? No, you are losing the sick paint job. That is pain. The Viper does still get cool paint jobs as well, I guess. It's a bit faster as well. No, it's not a bit faster, is it? Oh, no, it is, it is. Oh, the Super Cobra paint job is just so good. Look at that! Yes, let's Rocket Spiegel. Oh, it's 28 versus 38. You're right. You're right. Losing 10 rockets. Is losing 10 rockets worth 10% more ECM?
I want to say no. I want to say no. If you go to 35, it's 190. Because the 10s are more cost effective than paying 40. Different loadout slots will tend to have different like cost effectiveness. Like you get 35 on this pylon, but 40 on this one, credits wise. 190, is it okay? Fires twice as fast though? I don't think it does. With rocket pods, does it? If it does, that's definitely worth taking them. Pop-up attack, I guess. I think I've kind of talked myself into a 190 cost Viper. It's a bit more expensive, but it does bring that little bit more power. Get twice the weapons, right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know, I'd have to test it. If it does fire twice as fast, then that actually is a really good reason to bring it, I guess. Each pylon is an individual turret to fire? Okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. There's no helicopters with 3 pylons, right? 3 sets of them. Gonna mix the rocket types? We are mixing the rocket types. I don't think it'll matter. I think they'll still all fire at once, but if they don't all fire at once, then yeah, it could be a problem. 190, man. Or Super Cobra's right there. 155. Plenty of rockets, Beagle. Plenty of rockets. 35 cheaper. But you're getting 14 more rockets and 10 ECM, and you're a bit faster, and you have better optics, which, may make a difference here or there. And you are getting guided rockets. When do you bring the Viper but not an Apache? That's the thing. The problem is as you're creeping closer to the Apache's cost, you should just bring an Apache so that you have Hellfires. At 180, I think I'd do it. This is like fucking Pawn Shop. This is Pawn Stars now. Ah, can you go 180? 170 is my final offer for a close air support helo. Like, 190, it's a little bit too much. It's a little too much. Oh, it's just a little too much. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Super Cobra. Fuck that 10 ECM. Fuck those 10 extra rockets. But he says if you run a Viper with rockets, you could run the 16 Hellfire Apache and get the 6 fire of Hellfires. Yeah. I mean, if the thing just said about pylons is true, then yeah, but that's 330. Meaningfully, how much faster would this be firing then? If you have 4 times Hellfire versus 2 times, how many Hellfires a second is that compared to two pylons? There could be value in that. That logic only applies to dumbfire? Oh. Ghost says I queued for like 20 seconds ago to game. Oh! In battle 146! What? What? What the? Alright, the games! Restart. What the hell? They're back! The game's back, everyone! What the hell? Get me in there! I've been queuing for 3.5 hours! Where's my match? What the fuck? This is fucked up. Possibly says the fire forget capability means when Hellfires can fire against multiple targets. How many? Does that mean that, because you said different turrets, right? Does that mean that if I bring 16 Hellfires, I can engage 4 tanks at once? Very curious how that works. Ela too high? That'd be horrible if that was what was happening to me. But if that were true, I should be able to get a private match. Just queued up a fight game in like 10 seconds. No! Let me in! I'm your strongest warrior! Let me in! Betty says I just got a game. Let me in! Let me in! The servers are back! Maybe somebody got up at Steel Balalaika, the developers. Maybe like one person got up at... Maybe he like woke up after 3 hours. He like went to sleep in the studio, woke up like after 3 hours, was like, fuck it. Ah! Sorry, that was loud. We're so back! We're so back! We're so fucking back!